Yes, we alive. I've been trying to get on for like 10 minutes. I think I kind of figured it out though. I think if I have my computer on Facebook, I think that's where it tweaks. So computer and phone type situation. Anyway, happy Sunday. I hope everybody's doing well. This is going to be an amazing conversation. Let's get everybody on here. I apologize for being a few minutes late. I think I figured it out. Let's get my guys on here. Let's invite a few people. Can anybody hear me? Let's get this thing popping. We got in there. Dewan, what's good? Let's get everybody on here, man. We got a special guest tonight. Let me know if you can hear me. What's my levels? Okay, let's see if we can add Donnie. Let's go and get everybody in there. What's going on there, big
T,
dog?
what's up, man? Let me.
Hold on, let me
Okay,
see. Make sure I can hear you.
I can hear you. Let me know if you can hear me.
I can hear you, dude. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you see me?
I can hear and see you.
I can see you too, man. Look,
Oh,
look,
blessings, dude.
you
What's going
you
on?
you age all of 6 months since high school, but yeah. So yeah, how you
So you
doing?
got the full connects going on and everything?
Yeah, finally, yeah. I may sound a little nasal. I'm a little upper respiratory
That's
infection
all right.
recovering from that, but we here.
We here, man. We here, man. So once again, thank you for taking time out of your schedule, man. I know you're a busy guy right now.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, trying to make things happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So listen, man, what
What's
we're
up,
gonna
Will?
do, we're gonna take a walk down memory lane, man, and have you walk us through your journey, and then we're gonna celebrate you and give you your flowers along the way. You know how I go.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce the show. Then I'm gonna throw it back to you. I want you to introduce yourself, first and last name, your high school, and your graduation class, and then we're gonna get
Got
to
it.
it. Cool?
Cool.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
let's do it. Everybody, man, this is gonna really ring out, man. So again, welcome to another episode of Tap In with Tristan. We got a Facebook Live edition, Long Island Basketball History edition. And without further ado, we have a legend himself. Go ahead, I'm gonna have him introduce himself.
Jason Fraser, Amityville High School, class of 2002.
Oh man, that sounds good, man. Good to see you, Jay.
Likewise, good to see you too as well, T. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. We've been tapping in offline lately, man. So it's been a blessing to just kind of catch up and talk to each other as grown men, as you know what I'm saying, like just from a whole different perspective, man. But I would like to celebrate you in this moment right here, man, on this platform, and just have us hear your story from your perspective, man.
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Let's go back to the early years, man, when we started kind of doing the basketball thing. What's the earliest memories? Where we at, man? Where we growing up? What's the situation?
Earliest memories, I was about 5 years old, and you remember there was the summer league, make it Dottie Coleman, make it
Ah,
stay in school, and it
yeah.
was at Boulder Mac Park. And the thing about it was I was too young to I wasn't old enough to join the youngest group, but I was tall enough and big enough. And Miss Coleman told my mom, she said, "Hey, there's an age limit, there's an age restriction." And then my mom was like, "Look, I'm just trying to give my son something productive to do." And she said, "Oh, my son is right over here." And I remember she called me over, and I came like a big baby Huey. And then she's like, "All right, we could do that." And the best part about that, I remember running out there on the court, and I got two passes the whole entire summer. I didn't care though. I just remember running and watching the kids older, because it's a big difference when you 7 and hooping compared to a 5-year old, or
Okay, so
like
you playing with the 7-year-olds now, Jay?
yeah, I was playing up, but it really was just giving me something to do on the court. And again, I'm like 5 running up on the court, running up and down, but I enjoyed it. I remember I got 2 passes. I caught the ball and just passed it right back out.
Yeah.
I was just there, and my mom just wanted to, see her son doing something.
Yeah. So what did that mean to you, man? And then let's kind of roll it over into the next few years, like, you know what I'm saying, where you still have some of the options of playing sports. What was the social situation, man? Who was around? Cousins, uncles, brothers, sisters, friends. What's going around in that late elementary time?
Man, it's so important, not especially even speaking on it, because I think about a week ago became 1 year since I buried my mother. And thinking back at it, she really, I mean, there's something beautiful in the heart of a parent when you look at your child and you're just trying to set up the future for them. And she saw, opportunity. She saw something other than all the bad things that could potentially happen from growing up in the neighborhood. And she said, "Hey, look, I'm gonna put my son in basketball." She played ball. My aunt Peaches played ball. Uncle Paul played ball. My Uncle Peter went to I don't know if it was D2, D3. He went to college for a short stint, and then it was a rite of passage because I had my older cousin Sean and Randy.
Yep.
They hooped. Randy was multi-talented. Randy did track.
Yep.
He was track, basketball, pretty much anything he wanted to put his mind to it. He was able to do it. But it was great, and I'm the younger cousin, and it
Yep.
was like that because in families, you have multiple siblings and they have rounds, if you will. So they all have their first rounds of first kids, and then they all
Right.
have their first rounds of second kids. And I was in that top round for all the Frasers, along with Randy, Sean, my cousin Takesha, Khalif, myself, and Michael. But the difference was I wanted to hoop just like Randy and Sean did, but Randy and Sean is 3 and 4 years older than me.
Right.
So now you're talking, even when I get to 7 years old, there's a big difference between 7 and 10 and
Yes,
seven
it
and
is.
11.
Yes.
And, I'm just, I'm trying to hang with them and it wasn't happening. I had to just watch. So then, it was great having my mom, put me in there. And that kind of jump started everything for me. Big shout out to the great Dottie Coleman, God rest her soul,
Amen.
and all others that was involved. There's because even moving on to the elementary, we get into junior high, and in junior high, at some point, that's when we had Sweets, Cornell Reed, who was right there, right on Awfully. He did so much, and taking the neighborhood players and expanding the horizon, expanding the territory when it came to basketball, and outside the reach of just the neighborhood, outside the reach of outside of Long Island. I remember he would take us. We went to Brooklyn a couple of times,
Yeah.
and we started wiping the floor with somebody. When I say we, I was tagging along. I had a little bucket or two, more
Yeah.
defense. But I remember his son Julio and then my cousin Sean.
Yep.
He had a ratchet on him, so he bang, 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 hitting shots. Julio hitting, Randy going full tilt with a layup.
Yep.
All of a sudden, it was funny because dudes was on the gate, and he had dudes on top of the building, right,
Right.
or looking out from their window, and it went from cheering to like you just felt like that feeling. And then Sweets, so a lot of people know he has a wheelchair,
Yep.
so he had a wheelchair van. He was driving. All of a sudden, he just takes off. And we're like, where you going, right? And then I'm young, mind you, 3, 4 years now. I'm 11. So at 14 and 15, my cousins knew what time it was,
They knew
right?
what time it
So
is. What's going on?
he was like, yo, Jay, just wait, just wait. So hit the layup, and I think it was Julio hit the shot for game, or was Sean hit something for game. It was like boom, game, and we just took off. He's like, oh, run, run, run.
Run.
Hopped the fence, jumped into the van. Sweets was already in the van. He's like, go, go, go. We pull off and everything like that. They throwing bottles and stuff towards us. Man, it was good time. But there's so many people. It's almost the challenge becomes you don't want to miss anyone to give them their credit
Yeah.
because along that same journey on the elementary years, you had my Uncle Paul,
Yeah.
who you know, a lot of people know him later on, but from when we were younger, he was taking everyone. We were doing dribbling drills, the whole neighborhood. We were
Whole
doing
neighborhood.
dribbling drills in the driveway because remember we had that long driveway.
What street? What
And
street are we on? What's our street?
we're on the one and only Awfully Street. That's where we're on.
Hey,
Yeah.
who grew up on that street, dude?
Two of many of the finest, I'll tell you that. Me and yourself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, and Rick was right there with
And
us
Rick was
too.
right there. He was a house
Yeah.
apart. So we had a couple
Yep.
of champions on there. So for those that don't know, I lived on the dead end of Hopefully, and he lived on that second section in between the cross street.
Yeah.
And I mean, we was crossing paths early, dude.
Early,
Early
early.
in
I
the
remember
game.
coming down. You had the around that same time. You remember you had the hoop right in front of your
Rick.
yard, but
It was Rick.
that was Rick. It was
It
Rick
was Rick.
with
Rick had the hoop.
yeah, yep, yep, yep. When we was hooping, man, those good times, man. Then didn't it fall down and
Yeah, it fell
flatten
down.
in the front, so
So
we had
the
to.
rim became an oval. So you really had to shoot.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I remember that, man. It's just a good time. It's a good time. It's very unique. Still at the same time, so I'm there, make it. You have all that stuff happening in the neighborhood, and somewhere in between there, I get introduced to Richard Cronin from CYO, and the team for Amityville was St. Martin's. So we're
Yeah.
St. Martin's Blue Thunder. I knew you were the class above
Yup.
with Twan
Yup.
and
Rick was
Richard.
there.
Wasn't what's his name? Daryl. Rich Payton older brother. Darrell.
Darrell was actually older than I was. Yup. He
Okay,
was.
okay,
I
okay.
think, if I'm not mistaken, he might have been playing with Timmy Lamont. But yeah,
Okay, you're
it
right.
was
You're
it
right.
was it was essentially like our farm system.
Yeah, it was a feeder program.
It was a feeder program. That's a great way to say it.
So I remember doing St. Martin's with Coach Cronin, and I did that from fifth grade all the way up until it was time to like graduate up until high school after freshman year.
Yeah.
And during that time though, this is when Long Island Lightning, which really is the program that came after the Island Garden was established.
Is
So
this middle
Island Garden,
school? Are we still talking middle school years, Jay?
middle school, middle
Okay.
school,
Okay.
middle
Let's
school.
keep it going.
So Island Garden is happening, and you have Mr. Fox who's running it, and Long Island
Hmm.
Lightning is starting, and we
Yeah.
were with St. Martin's, and it was good, man, because Coach did something special. You had a CYO team playing against Gauchos, playing against at the time were New York Panthers. I don't remember playing a church, but I remember playing a show sometime because it was only because we were in that Super League was what it was called,
Super
that
League.
tournament at
I got
Island
it.
Garden. So it
Yes.
was nice. We were in that, and then he took us to a lot of local tournaments in Connecticut. That was big, being on Long Island, being able to travel to Connecticut,
Right.
Jersey, playing in all these AAU tournaments, and then it came time to move on, which was a very difficult decision in
We're gonna
high
talk.
school.
Let,
But
let's bring it back. We're
but
gonna talk
I
about
wanted
that.
to, yeah, I wanted to add one thing.
Okay, add
Junior
one
high.
thing. Add one thing. Add one thing.
At the same time in junior high, you had Daryl DePass. Um,
Absolutely. UNAO.
yeah, UNAO was going on, and you had those guys there. So it really took a village because we were just a bunch of kids in the neighborhood, and you had a lot of these pioneers with some all being pillars of the community. And talk about Sweet, Dottie Coleman, Daryl Pass, my Uncle Paul.
Yep.
Man, there's so many. I don't want to. There's so many. I can't remember her name, but she was big with Make It with Miss Coleman. You remember her as a short lady? I
I'm
can't believe
drawing
I
a
forgot her
blank.
name.
Dottie Coleman rings out.
She was related to Pops. She was related to
I remember Els. I remember Els. I remember Nate Kelly. Johnny
yeah,
Kelly was in the
Nate,
mix.
yes, Nate,
Yeah,
Nate,
my dad was in the mix.
right. But it was a young lady, but I forgot her name. I want to say she lived over there by the park too.
Somebody,
My boy,
somebody help us out in the chat from Amityville,
yeah,
man.
yeah, help
Somebody
us
help us
out.
refresh our memory in that regard, so we can give her flowers. But
When I
like you
say her
said,
name, yeah, but go ahead.
like you said, there was a lot of people that was volunteering their time,
Yes,
pouring their years.
Mrs. Chicazonga. So yeah, yeah, that's her.
Ah,
That's her.
yes, Chima's mom,
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Carolyn Chikazunga. Yes,
Yeah, 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 yep. She was the best. Yep.
absolutely. So Jay, what is this basketball thing like for you right now? Is it just recreation, man? Are we even good, man? What's the blend between home basketball or sports and school? Right? How's
Uh,
we doing? What was all that going on?
We're talking
We
junior
still in the
high,
middle school. We gonna stay
middle
middle. Yeah,
school.
junior. We over
Yeah,
there. We over there off Smith Street, middle school, man.
yeah,
We you know
yeah,
it
yeah,
get
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
wild over there
yeah. Yeah.
sometimes.
So at this time, basketball it's becoming something that I'm loving
Okay.
because because we start becoming competitive. You have CYO and then you have the school team.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You have the school team.
Yep.
You have that, and now you're playing for the school team because it's seventh grade. So something that's competitive, something that you're loving. I loved it. I wouldn't use the word being in love with it just yet, but because it's like a natural competitive nature that's inside of me at this time,
Yeah.
and I'm finding something that matches well with it. And I'm like, I love this basketball stuff.
Yes.
So that's what's happening. School is very important.
Yes.
Switch my earpieces. School is very important. That was something that my mother was very serious about,
Yes.
and it meant everything, you know.
Yep.
So that was a non-negotiable. But I think now is a good time too because this happened when I was younger.
Talk to me.
School is important for my mom, for me. It just kept meaning more and more for me. But what a lot of people don't understand, I'll never forget. First grade happens, and um, I'm already like up to here to the teacher. So I get sent to the principal office 2 times on the first day. And I remember the old PA systems when the teacher could talk to the front
Yes.
office.
They come push the
So
button.
yeah, 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 yeah. So she's talking to the front. She's like, "No, there's gotta be a mistake. This kid is too big." So I'm in there. Long story short, so now the jokes are like, "Oh, he already got left back 2 times, right? Like he's
Hmm.
so tall." Cool. But by the time the year ends, a lot of people don't know this. I do get left back.
Okay.
So the school, the principal, the guidance counselor, and my teacher determined that I had they did some tests at the end and had individuals from the James E. Allen School come, and they determined that I was mentally retarded and
Wow.
that I would never read, write, or articulate myself past the fifth grade level. So even when I'm speaking to you now, I was supposed to you're supposed to feel like you're speaking to someone who's 12.
Whoa. Whoa.
So
Whoa.
this
Okay. Okay. Now I'm
so this what
listening.
happened.
Wow.
And
I didn't know this, Jay.
and I'm gonna tell you who changed the whole trajectory. God worked through her, and my whole story. I'm not who I am without this sole individual in this one time.
Talk to me.
So they run this test. I'll never forget it. The reason why you remember certain things in life, and I was old enough because first was that 7 years old or
Yeah.
six, turning seven. Yeah, I remember that, and I remember being in the hallway. They did the test. You know the test when they put the little ring, the big colored ring, and then the smaller ring, and the other ring, the
And
little
it,
circles you put on, and you're supposed to put it in size order. I
yep.
remember doing that and something else, and they determined. They said, yeah, he has a mental retardation.
Wow.
As my mother was going to the bathroom, because she told me later on what was said to her, I remember being in the room. I see my mother walking past, but my mother wanted to cry because she couldn't believe what was happening to her baby.
Oh no.
And Mrs. Evans walked past her, and she said quickly to her mother, "Don't do it," because you had to sign back then. She
You got
said,
to sign off
don't.
on it.
You got to sign off." She said, "Don't do it." She said, "Don't do it, and I'll be his teacher next year." Right?
Oh wow.
And I never forget, my mother said, and I knew it was a big deal because my mother called me Ellery, and she only called me Ellery 2 times. I got that time,
Yep.
and she got called to school one other time. She was like, "Come here, Ellery." And she whooped my butt in the hallway, right?
And right in the
Trying to
hallway.
be a class, yeah. And they sent me
Six,
back to
six, six,
class.
five, dude getting the
Yeah,
building.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you have to like wipe your eyes. So, um, Miss Evans proceeds to take me to I came over her house. She had people roofers doing her she was getting a new roof, and I was
Wow.
picking up some shingles off the ground. She was giving me summer stuff just to keep me active.
Yes, keep you active.
School starts. Now mind you, two months of summer, the end of the school year, so we're talking 3 months.
3 months.
3 months now, or about 3.5 months past when this principal just signed off saying that I had this mental retardation. I shouldn't be in the public school. I can't survive in Amityville public school. He had to give her special permission to have me stay back after school
Wow.
because I was 2 reading levels above the class that just left me.
Wow.
So what happened in between when school started, that whole the first 4 to 5 weeks, I never forget. We're learning in class, and Miss Evans looks at me in the back. She goes, "You're not dumb. You're bored." And what it was, the teacher before, I had she wants me to sound out cat. She wants me to
Yeah.
cut at. I'm
Yeah.
ready to read the whole sentence.
You ready to
And
run through it. I'm ready to run
I'm
through
ready
it.
to read the sentence. And you're trying to have me sound out words like I was
Yes.
I was ready to
You was
go.
advanced.
Yeah, so and that's something, and I'll hold off. I'll tell you, I have some great stories for you later on about
Absolutely.
when we get to high school, and then
Yes.
and then even past that when I start when I'm a dean of students and behavior interventions. But anyway,
I'm leaning
the
in, dude. I'm here for it all.
yeah, that set the foundation for something that I didn't even realize. And Miss Evans changed all of that. And she, again, I would have got sent off to the James E. Allen School, and that would have changed a lot because,
Wow.
you know, when you graduate, at least at that time, and someone could correct me if I'm wrong, you graduated from there at that time. It's like your diploma wasn't a diploma. It wasn't even a GED. It was more so of a what is it called? Certificate of
Like a
participation.
certificate
Yeah,
of
yeah,
you
of
participated in
participation.
this
Yeah,
school.
in a public education. Yeah, and of some education within New
Wow.
York. So, this was something that was so big, and I think, and it's no knock because it's a touchy subject, which I have no problem diving in. Have stats.
Wow.
I have a lot, but anyway, it's a touchy situation because they have some that's in there, and you have a lot of people that work in there, and it calls um, a question of not a double standard, but conflict of interest.
Talk to
If
me.
the who are individuals who work in the district are making decisions if a kid needs that service or not. If not enough kids need the service, there are layoffs. If not enough kids are in the system, there's no school system. You understand? So it
So
will
they
behoove
need a certain amount. They need a certain amount of bodies in these seats to keep this thing going.
correct.
Gotcha.
So of course, to it's and you got to think about it this time too,
Wow.
and understandably so, respectfully on their end, I got to feed my family. So even if I'm not consciously saying no, this kid does not belong in there, I may convince myself on any little thing. I mean, look, because I have the sub in my
I got a
subconscious
quota.
mind
I
has
got a
that
quota.
pressure.
I
I
got a
got the
quota.
quota and I have
Yeah.
to do that. So
Yeah.
there's so much that goes into that. But Miss Evans changed everything. I love that lady. I haven't heard of her or from her from years, but every
Wow.
time I get a chance, I always ask about her. And she's so humble. I remember when she was retiring. I want to say I was at Villanova at the time, and I was begging her, but then I realized it was selfish because she did her time, and it's time for her to enjoy life. But
Yeah.
I just was letting her know like the impact that she has. Like
Right.
I wouldn't have been who I am. Out of everyone that came after that, everyone knew how much they put in. I'm not me if I get shipped off to that school. I'm not, and I stay in there. No,
That's heavy, Jay.
yeah, this stuff doesn't happen. Like she solely individually, I can't say enough. I can't overstate how much she means to me and what she have done for me. And guess what? It didn't benefit her. And because we're tapping in and we're talking
Absolutely.
live
Talking
for
real.
real,
Yeah.
there is an issue with, and there's studies upon studies on this. There is an issue with the young black males within the educational system where our behavior is looked at as criminal, if you will, as something wrong. Even if I don't know if you saw the study. Yeah, there was a study that they used, and they used teachers of all races, including black.
Yeah.
They said, please show me the problem child. And really, what there was a tracking system that tracked the eye movement of each observer, and that the majority of the time they kept staring at the black boy, waiting for him to do something.
Waiting for him.
And here's the trick: in the video, no one is misbehaving, but it's showing the psychology that's in the minds of our educators who are representatives of our general public, um, that what they look for and what they consider bad. And it's like labeling theory is a hard thing. It's a tough thing to get rid of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these are the different issues that we deal with. and
Wow.
I was a product. I was a product of that. I'm laughing in the back of the classroom, joking. I never forget his name. I think his name was Stephen Fowler. Never forget first grade, and we just joking the whole time. And here it is. I have a mental retardation, and
Mental
it was so
retardation. That's a heavy thing to put to label somebody.
at that young age, and they
That's
were
heavy.
so adamant.
Life
They have
changing.
they were so adamant. They were so adamant about it. But and then
Wow.
later on, because it's so junior high, later on, when we get touch on the Amityville,
Yeah.
when we get to high school, that same principal, so happy, had me come back because I'm reading to the students because
Yeah.
now I'm an academic person. But yeah, but
Yeah.
that's
No,
middle school.
that's
That's
very
elementary so
no,
far.
that's very necessary because I didn't even know that, bro. So thank you for
Yeah,
deep diving that. But it also opens up something bigger than basketball, which we talked about is one of the reasons for this platform about some of the different things that we have going on nationwide, worldwide, with but whether it be race related, whether it be educational system, whether it be sports related. These are the heavy topics that individuals have, and it can alter their life. That's a life altering move that Miss Evans made on your behalf, and then that your mom made by listening to Miss Evans and not signing off on that.
yes,
Now you're a
yes,
statistic.
yeah,
Wow,
yes,
that's heavy, Jay. So what's going? So shout out to Miss Evans and your mom for what I'm saying that's an in the moment thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
There's not a whole lot of preparation for something like that. So that could have went one way or the other. But man, we can follow up with that topic on a whole nother topic. That's a subtopic, but that's a major one. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
What's going on in middle school, man? Seventh grade, you got a couple of different teams, man. Um, it gets wild. One thing that we all can share, dude. None of us like to lose.
No, no.
In
I
anything. Yeah,
I hate losing,
we'll
dog.
talk about in anything, bro.
No,
I
no.
think that's
Right.
something like regardless of the personality, nobody that we grew up like to lose at anything. So
No.
fold that in however you see fit.
So we're in middle school, and shout out to Mr. Is Isabel.
Lee Isabel.
Man, he and Mr. Miller too, right?
Shout out, man. They had to endure a whole lot from us, didn't
Oh my gosh, them
they?
two. Because I did so middle school. I remember middle school. I did basketball, football, wrestling.
Jay, you wrestled, didn't you?
Try. Yeah, I wrestled because of my height. My height. My height. I was heavy, right? I was considered heavy because of my height. Man, I went against a captain of every team. I went against the captain because the captain be like the strongest guy. Man, the first four dudes there, I got bent up so bad four times, pinned like over, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
had the
man, I
soggy.
wrestled.
Your uniform was all soggy because you
Yeah,
was.
man, yeah. They pin my that yo, and you know they love
Oh
that,
my
man. They'll be like, yeah, that tall guy, yeah, I just bend him up. Yeah, yeah. But I went 500. I went 4-4. We had 8. I remember that.
Got a
So
couple
yeah, yeah,
dogs.
yeah. Got a couple. Got a couple. I revenge myself. So I did all 4 sports, but mainly obviously it was basketball that I
Right.
was interested in. That's seventh grade. Then eighth grade comes up. Wait, no, let me stop. So that's seventh grade. Eighth grade comes, but
Okay.
before eighth grade gets started, I remember that Coach Ag, who introduced me originally to Coach Cronin,
Okay.
um, he he then pops back into school. He pops back in my life. He comes to the school. It was myself, Yoshido Brooks, and also myself, Yoshido Brooks, and Jeffrey Jones, which is Shelton Jones' nephew. I was the smallest.
Yeah, Jeffrey was tall. I remember Jeff.
Jeffrey was taller. Yoshido was, I want to say, like maybe an inch taller, but he was built like a Mari Stoudemire,
I
right?
vaguely remember that name right there.
So I was the odd man out,
Wow.
and but the year goes on.
Yep.
I don't even remember them playing basketball.
I don't remember
So
them playing basketball either.
yeah, I don't remember. So I play ball. Then they're like, all right, this kid is actually pretty good. Junior high comes, eighth grade comes. I'm playing. Then I started playing on JV in eighth grade.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I did both, but I remember no. I remember leaving school and having to take the bus up to the high school.
What's
because I
that
was
feeling
playing
like?
JV.
What's that feeling like, man? And what's going on with the grade situation? They tried to pin mental retardation on you, dude.
Right,
Right?
right.
So I mean, you're really young in that, man, but is that a a motivational factor kind of going up? Like, hey man, I think they're trying to count me out on some things, man. I don't like it.
Yeah, and it became, you know, I played with a chip on my shoulder, and that was one of the main things. But
Yes,
a
you
lot of
did.
people didn't realize that I played because you got to realize what a lot of people don't realize. Every step of the way, a team wanted me for a certain position, as opposed to saying like, "We want you, and we're just going to give every." You pick a player because you want them,
Yep.
and you. There's a difference. You pick a player because you want them, as opposed to you pick a player because you need them. Like,
Yep.
because even the CYO, how I got introduced, Richard at this all the same time too. Richard and Justin Goodman, Richard Payton and Justin Goodman were the best players on the team,
Yeah.
and they were guards. And I remember they were looking. Trevor McIntyre was on the team, and Trevor went and got me, and he said, Trevor was like, "Hey, we need a center, right?" And no, or did I get Trevor? I remember they got me. Speaking of Trevor, and they needed a center. Well, they weren't talking about a star player. There's a difference between getting a center to grab rebounds, score a few buckets, compared to getting a center that's demanding the ball. You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? Now you're taking
Yes.
out for me. So that was one thing, and I had to fight for there. Then you have junior high. I never forget Coach. And one thing I did respect about Coach Jack, he was very, very honest with that
Very
kind of
honest.
stuff. Very
Very honest.
brutally, brutally.
Yeah.
And he told me, he was like, that's Jeffrey, Sheldon Jones, younger family member. So that's that bloodline. He was like, his eye was on him. Yoshida was a physical specimen. Then you had little skinny OJ. So the eyes were on them, but also, you can't ignore me as well. Then now we're in eighth grade. I'm going on and I'm going on a JV. I'm moving up. I'm trying to prove myself. And again, you have that chip on my shoulder. And I got a funny story going in. So I think I finally told Sharice Hickson years later. So everyone knows me as Jason Fraser, but Jason's my middle name. Ellery's my first name, right?
Ellery. Yes.
So in school, all my boys, and if you knew me outside of just school, you call me Jason. The only people that call me Ellery that met me in public education, right?
That grew up with you.
And then even after a time, most of them started calling me Jason. But
Yep.
some call me Ellery and it's still acceptable. But I really wasn't jocking it because you remember Ellery Celery, all these different names
Oh
and
yeah, no, the
whatever,
jokes was
right?
there. The jokes
Jokes
was
all
there.
day. So I went my first day JV, right? I went to the gym and I think the girls just finished practicing. It was Sharice. She might have been with Ramona, and I can't remember who else she was with. But she walked up, she was like, "Oh, look at him. Look at him. He's all cute." 'Cause I had remember the little twist?
You
Remember
had
before
your
you
little
get braids, you get a little
twisties.
twist? Yeah, I had little twisties, right?
Did she touch the
Before
twisties?
she touched the twisties, right? And then she was like, she said, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is I said Ellery." She's like, "That's cute. I like that name, right?" And remember when you was a kid, these are the big varsity girls, right?
These are, man.
So
You up at the
yeah,
big times.
yeah, the big time. So I came back to school the next day, and they was like, "Hey, what's up, Ellery?" I mean, Jason. I was like, "No, no, no, no. My name is Ellery." That's
Ellery cool, dude. Hey, the
that's it.
ladies is feeling
That
Ellery. I'm cool with it
yeah,
now.
yeah, 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 so, yeah, yeah. So that was the funny part. That was the funny part with that. But so we're doing JV, and you know what it is, man? It was just working
Jay,
hard.
Jay, Jay, what
Yeah,
what type of game do? Because Jay, like, listen, man. I grew up with you, man. I remember you shooting the three ball, like when we was young.
yeah.
You
So
used to like the perimeter game. I mean, if we talk about how the game is today, bro, you naturally gravitated to shooting three. We used to be yelling at you to get in the
get in the
paint.
post.
Obviously,
Yes.
it transitioned over time. When did that kind of transition, if you don't mind?
So I remember, yeah, growing up, uh, you know, part of the reason why I could shoot the three and could shoot from the outside, Randy and Shorty used to beat the crap
They
out of
was
me.
beating you up in the paint.
Oh my gosh, yo, they were 3 and 4 years older. Yo, I'm
Yeah,
12.
and everybody
Imagine,
was rough. They was rough
yes.
guys.
Do you understand the
They was looking to do
physicality?
all of that,
You
everything.
understand? Do you understand the physicality between being 9 years old and the other person is 13 and 12? There's a
but
big
but
difference.
not only that, Jay, it was the mentality. These dudes was rough.
Yes. So you have the physicality, then they were actually rough, right? And I never forget one time I had to been like 11, so Randy's 14, Sean's
Yeah.
15. 11-year-old, yo, they put me on my back hard on the cement. And I remember looking at my Uncle Paul, because Uncle Paul was like he was the foundation, he's the glue of the family, he's the moral and the ethics, he's everything, right? I looked up at him like, you gonna let them do that? Like they was like borderline just bullying, right?
This is
He looked
bully
at
behavior
me.
right now.
Yeah, he looked at me. He said, I'll never forget. I was on, it was like a movie screen looking up. And then he looked at me. He looked down. He said, get up. And I was like, oh, shoot. And I got up. And I remember that's how I was like,
Yeah, you got, you got
yeah,
rocks all in your back.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
staying on the
yeah, yeah,
perimeter, man. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
going in there. You got rocks all
Yeah,
in your twisties.
yeah, 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 yeah. And then I start playing more ball, and the young guys like, get in the post, get in the post. CYO was really get in the post, get in the post, get in the post.
Because of your height. Because of your height.
Right. Junior high is get in the post, get in the post. So now, by the time I'm eighth grade going to JV, yeah, I'm in the post. I'm in
Yeah.
the post, but I still have that itch,
That's what I'm saying. You
to
still
hit
got
that little
that natural.
turnaround.
Yeah, that's part of your natural game, man. And I think also too, looking back, man, we should have let that ride a bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously, it's a growing. The sport has transformed a lot and allowing a lot of the big guys to kind of utilize that skill set. But I think we closed the door on that way too early. You had that, but also, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of what it was at that time, and you excelled in the transition, but still had the ability to step out and hit the three.
Yeah, true. And I'll say everything for a reason. Um, Maybe if I was allowed to shoot out, I'm not as aggressive attacking the basket. Maybe I go
100%.
in there and try to do a little
There's
face up
always a
instead of try
flip.
to put people through the rim. Yeah, so it all worked out, T. It
It
worked
did.
out.
It
It
did, man.
worked out.
You was in JV eighth grade, man. Yeah, that happened to me too. You take that bus from Edmund
Yeah,
W. Miles going up to the high school, man. It was a big deal.
right.
It,
And that was another thing. Um, and I'm sure you saw it when you were coming up. You had such greatness and such a legacy in Amityville that, oh man, like there was such greatness going into school year in, year out, that you remember Mike James and them at the park, but then there's Tristan right above me, right above you. Mama Tyrone was there,
we got Tyrone. Yeah,
yeah.
we had
And then
Oliver just
you have
leaving.
Oliver.
Yeah,
I even remember Hemroy.
absolutely. Henro is a
Yeah,
specimen, dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
Hemroy. You had Eric Lamont. You had Timmy
yes.
that was underneath him, and even before then, I can't remember I remember Boyd. I want to say his
Boyd
name was
O'Kelly.
Boyd. Yeah, Boyd O'Kelly. Then you
Yeah,
had Toye. You
Toye and
had
Tavon
this
Carpenter.
Tehran. And then for me, here's the thing: eighth grade. That's when So Oliver was the first player
Yep,
that
Oliver.
that I remember seeing and being like, oh, that's a basketball player,
That's a
right?
guy right there.
Varsity.
Yeah, yep.
My first favorite player, I want to say probably in life, not even Patrick Ewing was my first NBA. I can't even remember if I ever loved him then. But I knew at this time, eighth grade, was Terrence Stevens.
There's nothing like a
That
Terrence Stevens, man. Shout out to Terrence.
that was my first favorite basketball player. I might be ever, but definitely, Amityville, local. That was my first favorite player because I felt like when I was younger, I felt like I resonated something with him. The
Yep.
way he played, I didn't get to see his track stuff. I didn't get to see track moves. I heard of it, but I remember the way he played. I felt like he should have played more, but I felt like when he got out there, he had like that chip on his shoulder. He had like that. He had to overcome, and I felt that, and I resonated with that, and that was like my first play. Then he was playing in the park, and I remember him being nice in the park,
Cooking in the
and
park.
not and rightfully so, in the best way so. He wasn't taking it easy on anyone,
He
so like,
never
and I
took it
remember,
easy on anything.
no, so I remember being in the park and I'm playing, and I can't remember, like, like you can't get no touch fouls when you're playing the park ball, and
No.
he's playing rough, and in my mind, little do you know, my mind is like, you playing against the guy that you watch, and it's like you just happy to be on the court, and it's like, man, I'm really playing with him.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you see people from a kid, and then you're the older ones. You never know how someone views you. Like
Fact.
another person, Oliver. So now when I got older and I see Oliver in my mind is like 7 feet.
Yeah,
when Oliver's really what is he, 6'5",
6'6".
6'6"?
Give him 6'6".
And yeah, like he's like 7 feet. He's huge. And like Terrence was like this player, this physical specimen, like,
He
just
was.
that the
Yeah,
man, that kind of thing,
yeah.
So that's
He
that's
really
how I shout
was.
out to Terrence.
There was
That's
he
how I
did
always
everything. He did everything well in the piggybacking story. I seen he. It just may have been the craziest thing I've ever seen on the basketball court in summer league at Lindenhurst. Terrence Stevens takes off from probably like 2 steps in front of the free throw line and goes up with 2 hands. And his momentum, because he's a strong, athletic dude.
yeah,
His
yeah,
momentum carries him past the basket. He dunks it,
yeah,
and his feet go underneath the rim, and he falls straight on his back.
yeah.
And everybody like stops, like, oh my gosh.
Right, 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 right.
Jumps right back up and run down court. And it was like,
Yeah, man.
I've never seen
Yeah.
nothing like that. Like the hardest fall, flat, nothing,
Boom.
flat on his back, head, all that. And he just pop up and like you're ready to play defense. I was like, yo, this dude is he's not real.
Right,
He,
right.
but he's that guy from the neighborhood that did everything well and was cool with
Yeah,
everybody. He was the guy.
yeah.
Shout out to
So then
Terrence.
that's eighth grade, and then that summer going into ninth grade
Let's
after
talk
eighth
about it,
grade,
man, because this
we
is
playing
starting with life
Lyndhurst.
changing.
We playing Lyndhurst. Life changing for me.
Talk to me.
One big thing was for me, so I'd never dunked the ball yet.
You
And
wasn't dunking
remember,
yet.
I'm 6'3", so everyone's like, remember you was like, man, dunk the ball.
Dunk the
Like, right?
ball, Jay.
Dunk the
What you
ball,
doing?
man, dunk the
Yeah.
ball.
Oh, yeah. We used to be hard on you, bro.
Yeah. So then we playing Lyndhurst, and Tim Lamont pretty much took me under his wing. He's talking
Shout
me up,
out
talking
Tim.
me up. Excuse me. He's talking me up, talking me up. And then we're in a game, and I had like my little dunk, and it was no one there. Like, this is my first time dunking, and it was like, it was a good feeling, man. It was a good feeling. So then now freshman year start. We there, right?
Freshman
We in
year.
freshman year. I step on the court, and Hemroy is not there anymore, but we got Telvis.
Telvis was a good player, man. Telvis
Yes,
was an underrated player, man. He
yes,
protected the paint. He did everything. High IQ, calling out the D. He was guy. Talk your
right.
talk. Shout out to
And
Telvis.
he was athletic. He was wiry strong.
He got the strength.
Um, then you had him, you had Lionel Watlington,
Billy Kratz.
Billy. But I remember like those bigs, like you look at the people, and because before them it was Hemroy and Ben. What's
Ben
Ben's last name?
Duverglass.
Yes,
Yes, I
Ben,
got
yeah,
you.
Big Ben. So you have all these players there, freshman year, and you're on the team. And I remember I'm playing, and I asked coach, I said, hey coach, what do I need to do to start? Because everyone wants to start, right?
Everybody wants to start.
And we're talking about what I need to do to start. And he tells me, like, you gotta dive in practice,
Bro,
you
I
gotta
told you I hate that
hustle.
diving, dude. The diving
So
on the chest and all that.
yeah, all of that. You leave skin
Ah,
on the floor.
shout out to
So
Ag.
I'm doing that. I'm like, all right, coach, what more? Then he talk about hustling. I'm blocking shots.
I'm
I'm
punching stuff.
grabbing every rebound. I'm punching them joints. I'm like, can I start now? Can I start now? And I don't know if you remember. Um, I'm at the point, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I want to start. Then I start dunking on people in practice. I don't know if
Yeah,
you remember.
you start that.
I hurt my right hand, and I took my left, and I'm like, boom. And I remember saying like, can I start now?
Yeah, yeah,
Boom. And
yeah.
like, I'm trying to prove myself again. That chip on the shoulder. I'm trying to prove myself. Trying to prove myself. And
Where did that
so
where did that where did that come from, man, basketball wise? Was it being pretty much bullied from your older cousins, or is just a conglomerate of everything that happened? Where did the chip come from basketball wise?
it was a combination of everything. Um, it was the bullying, but I'd never forget Uncle Paul. I was in fifth grade. Was at Grand Union Park. He goes, "Hey nephew, make the layup from the block underneath the basket. Make the layup." He pulled me out to the block. He said, "Jump from here, make the layup." We get to the point where it's like a foot or two outside. No, initially the foot or two outside. He says, "Make a layup from here." I was like, "I can't do that. That's too far." So he's all right. Start under the basket, and he pulled me out, pulled me out, pulled me out. Then he goes, "Look where you just jumped from. It was the same spot that that I initially said I
That you
can't."
said that you could not do it from.
Could not. And I was like, I can't even imagine. He said, "Don't you ever." say that you can't. And then he asked me a question. He said, "Hey nephew, why do we play the game?" I said, I don't like losing, right? He was like, "Okay, that's cool, but that's not enough." And then he said, "Why do you play the game?" He's getting closer to my face. I said, "Because I want, all right, to win all the time." He said, "That's not enough." I said, "Why do you play the game?" And I'm looking for the third answer. And he gets this close to my face. He goes, "You play the game to beat your opponent into submission." And I said, "Yes, Uncle." I said,
Understood.
"Yes, UP." And then that was it. And that was a big so all of my life problem, because you got to remember, our parents worked hard. You remember it was right then awfully. At one time, there was 20 of us in one household,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I never, I saw the hard work of my uncle, saw the hard work of my mother, my grandparents, everyone. So I never looked at it like we weren't getting, but I was aware of like, I'm sharing a bed and there's a whole bunch of us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or there's a lot of us in one room. And I remember saying to myself, especially by high school, by the time junior high happened, I remember saying more, and especially high school,
yep.
all of my life problems. And remember, I had high waters. Remember, I could remember my legs were long, and I
I
always had high
did.
waters to get
I,
jokes and stuff like that
yeah,
before I got figured it out later on.
yep.
All of my life problems was your fault for these 32 minutes on the court. And I'm going to let you have it.
I,
So
I,
it was,
I can attest to all of that. On top of that, we kind of knew that you had that mentality. Oh, that's messed up. And you locked that in. So we used to use those types of things to
yeah,
motivate you.
yeah, I remember that.
It
I
was
remember.
very easy to get Jason riled up, ladies and gentlemen. All we got to do is just have somebody feel. We just got to make him feel like that person is disrespecting him, and the task is done. We already knew. We look
Yeah,
at each other like, yo, Jason gonna turn up just off of us saying one thing. Oh, that's messed up. We're like, nah, Jay, nah, Jay. Nah. Okay, and you took that with you everywhere you went, bro.
I even remember one time, more than one time, overhearing you were giggling with Twan. You would say, y'all would say stuff before games of another team, another player. No, good and well, the person probably said or didn't say it. And then I'd be like, word, word, and
And you
then
know, and you know, I'm throwing gas on it. So, so,
oh
so,
my gosh, don't
uh,
let Newsday write something because because they from so
in the
again,
cafeteria, I'm showing you. But first of all,
showing,
bro, you came in with some expectations, man. You was on one of those first, fabulous freshman things,
yeah,
right? So
I remember
you
that. It
came
was
in, you came in with a level of expectation from Long Island, but then also from yourself and even from us. We knew that you was going to be an integral part of what we had going on. I think you kind of understood that and you embraced it. That's why you're like, "Where's my starting role, man? I'm here."
yeah, I'm here. And then I had that practice more than once and I never forgot it. Tim Lamont, Tim Lamont said to coach, he said, "All right, coach, you got to start this kid." And he said, if you don't, I'll give up my starting spot. And I don't know who sat in lieu for me to start, but I remember after Tim said that. Oh, and another part too, Chris Ag was trying to keep my head into it and not me lose it because I was like, all right, fine, forget it. A lot of people don't know I was this close of joining Julius Hodge and them at St. Raymond's
Oh,
because
come on.
yeah, dog, they were
Oh,
hitting, they were hitting Uncle Paul and my mom, and I said,
oh.
because I so thinking, I'm hooping. You don't want. I'm not starting. I'm not getting no respect. I was like, all right, fine. And then you have other people elsewhere for the first time in my life, in my
Knocking
mind,
on your door.
saying, "We want you. We value. We want you." I was like, "Oh, so I'm gonna be out." I
I
was
need to
about to
be
be.
there.
So St. Raymond's was the high school, right? Or was that
Yeah.
the AAU squad? Yeah, St. Raymond. Yeah,
St.
it would have
Raymond's
been.
is the high school, dude.
It would have
Nah,
been
we couldn't
me.
have had
It'd
that.
have been me, Jules, A. Ray, Dion Merritt. They had to
Chris
do. I think I want
McCray,
to say.
Chris
See, was
McCray.
Mulligan there?
Yeah,
Oh,
Chris
Chris was Craig. I'm
McCray.
thinking Chris Craig.
Yeah, Mulligan was there when you was young, Pete Mulligan.
So
Oh my
I
gosh.
was this close, dog, and I never forget it. And I
Oh,
remember I was mad, and it was after a game, and I took my jersey off. Not during the game, but like game was over. I remember when I took my jersey, I was like, "That's it, I'm out."
that's it. You're already making up your
Tim,
mind.
yeah, Tim spoke to coach, and it was Chris Ag said like, "Jack, I mean, come on.
Come on, dude, man. We
You
got something
told him to work
special here.
hard.
Oh
He's
my
freaking
gosh.
like what
Where's
do you want
Chris
us to
Ag
do?
at, man? We
And
gotta
we
send him.
lost. And we lost to remember we lost to King Park
Yeah, we lost to
at
King
the
Paul with
league in the league.
Justin
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 Simon.
Justin Simon. Shout out to Justin Simon. Shout out to Chris Ag for saving the day. We got to get
So
Jack on here, man. You almost lost.
yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
then I started,
Oh,
and then and I remember I ended up averaging a double.
yes,
And
you
remember,
did.
I wasn't getting any touches. I just wanted to start. I just wanted the minutes.
Nah,
I
nah.
was like,
You
I
was
can get
out
off the
there just
board.
getting active out there, man. How'd that freshman year end, man? My sophomore year. How did that end?
So
Let's bring people up to speed to where
I'm
we
gonna,
start taking off.
yeah. So
Ah,
we were good, but we lost. I want to say, I think the same thing for you. No, at that point, for me, because that was my freshman year, that was your sophomore year.
my
That
sophomore
was
year.
the only league game that I lost in my 4 years.
Same.
That
No,
I
no, no.
think that's a.
I
I don't know
think I
about your
lost
freshman
one
year.
more. I think I lost
Okay,
one my freshman year. Yeah.
so that was it. Like we didn't lose league games. Lose a league game? You kidding me? So
No, we didn't.
we we took, we were doing well. We just had, that was a good Kings Park team. So we play against Kings Park, and we make it all the way to, it wasn't the Long Island Championship, it was the
No, no,
semis
it
of that.
wasn't that
It
far.
was
We
the
would have been
semis.
right. It was in
It was
semis,
the
man.
game before
We
that.
was one game right before going to the Stony Brook joint.
So we play against Southampton,
They were
right?
number one in the state.
Yeah, number one in the state.
Ah,
I'm gonna say a curse word in Amityville. That's a
ah,
curse word in Amityville.
ah,
The curse word is two parts of it. Courtney Pritchard. Oh my goodness.
ah, ah.
Oh my gosh. So we played that game. We played that game at Southampton.
Ah,
Um, we won technically. No, actually, technically we lost because they gave it to them. But you watch it. Uh, we we did not deserve to win that game because we were up. They were getting home cooking, but we missed a ton of free throws.
I
And
fumbled the bag, Jay. I missed the fun end of the
no, it
one
was
on one.
I want to say there wasn't just your, no, I want to say like three of us missed free
Yeah,
throws.
yeah,
Three of us,
yeah. We
we
fumbled the
we
bag, bro. We didn't
yeah,
make
man,
free throws. Ah,
we didn't make free throws, like bad. We missed the free throws, and then he hits a three to go into overtime when we lose. However, if this is the 3-point line, his foot is like this on it, and I never
ah,
forget it.
ah,
This is back in the day with VHS tapes. He
ah.
sends. Did Timmy Lamont tell you that he sent him? So Courtney sent Tim Lamont the VHS tape like a week later, and on the tape, and he puts like, he's like, ha ha ha. On the tape, his foot is like halfway on the line.
Ah.
So
Bro, we lost that game.
Southampton goes up. They run the table, and
Oh
then they
my
win the state
goodness.
championship. Shout out to Southampton, Courtney
Shout out to
Pritchard. I
Southampton,
want to
yeah.
say they had a big name, Petaway.
Roman Petway or something. Petaway, yeah.
Petway.
Yeah.
Here's how I remember.
And
I
I
was on
think
the
Terrence
floor.
Smith was on that team too. They had a good team.
Yes, they had a squad.
Ah,
Petway came up to me. I'm crying on the floor. I'm upset. I'm joking.
man.
He was like, "Don't worry." He said, "Don't worry. You're gonna have a great career." He's talking, and and shout out to him for doing that. And I sat on the floor, and it was like a movie. I got up, and I never forgot. I never forget it. I looked. I said, "I'm never gonna feel like this ever again." And we freaking run the table from that. Shoot,
That's it, bro.
that was that.
That was
Um,
it. Real quick
so
though,
that's
real
freshman
quick.
year.
Hey,
Yeah, go
real
ahead.
quick. In that summertime, in that summer,
Oh,
hold on. In that summer, we went and tried out for Empire.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Man, there's so many stories I'll be forgetting.
yeah. We can
So
just give them a
yeah,
quick
yeah.
one with this, man.
So
We went all the way to the last cut.
we were all the way to the last cut. You're a sophomore, right?
Yes, yes.
I'm a freshman,
And we doing our
and
thing. We were
we're
doing
doing
our
our
thing.
thing, and we're on the radar because you already know, because you already had 2 years under your belt,
Yeah,
right? My freshman, because of that Fab Five, it was
yeah.
me,
And you finished
Auburn
the season
Scott.
off well.
Finished off well. It's me, Auburn Scott, Tim Doyle, Crenshaw
I
from
think was it Carlos Hurt
Belfort,
maybe? Hurt?
and James Hurt.
James Hurt,
This is
excuse me.
James Hurt, right? James Hurt. So this was the five. So I finished. They knew about me, and I never forget. Um, you're again, Amityville. We feel like we're being disrespected. We already feel like we weren't being respected. So we go. We play with the chip on our shoulder. That was another chip. Chip for me personally,
Yes.
going against the odds. Chip for me going to Amityville because people, if we're being honest, they knew about our greatness, but we never felt like we were embraced. You know,
Yeah,
we were respected because we wanted to play hard, but we wanted to. You want to be respected above all things, but you want to be embraced. And then part of not embracing is a form of disrespect. You know, always saying like, oh, they're gonna get upset, they're gonna lose this, they're gonna lose that, and we're fighting to be known to get to that next level where like Amityville's here.
yes,
You showed out, you did your thing. To me, it was a no-brainer, right? I'm playing. I thought I did. I'm pretty sure I did more than enough to solidify a roster spot. So, Coach, was it Coach Huggins
Coach
from
Hodgson,
William
dude,
Floyd?
Rod
Hodgson,
Hodgson from
Hodgson,
William Floyd,
William
absolutely.
Floyd. Um, rest in peace. But
R.I.P. He was a great
he,
coach.
great coach. He's on there. He did what you're supposed to do. You take care of your players, right?
Nah, he took two of his guys, man.
Yeah, he took two of his guys. His guard, he put over you, and I'll never forget his name was J.B. Bennett.
J.B. Bennett, dude.
They said Jason, you deserve to be on the team, but JB's a senior. You know, we want to take care of him. We'll take care of our players. He earns it too, but you know, you're good. You deserve to be on the team, but you're young. You have plenty of years, and you do that. And I was like, oh really? Now, mind you, I
Oh
was a
man.
little I was petty. I was
Nah,
petty.
yeah, that's super.
I
Yeah,
was petty.
I'm about to hook
I was
off.
I was petty. So and I feel slighted. Now, mind you, when we were young, we were always told when you work hard and you outcompete and you earn something, you
This is
get it.
first time we dealing with some politics, dude.
Yes, this first time dealing with politics, and this is why I'm big on telling kids the reality. I don't tell kids you can work hard and earn anything. That's not true. When you work hard, you give yourself a higher opportunity, and there's a difference between understanding giving yourself a making something more probable, giving yourself opportunity, as opposed to um, saying it's guaranteed yours. You earn it, you get it. Because then it messes up your psychology. Because
It
me, I
does.
didn't know how to take it. I'm like, wait, I earned it. And it
Yeah,
was messing up my reality. In comes Jay Wright. It was at Stony Brook. Coach Wright was there. He probably was looking at some other players, at Hofstra. He's coaching at Hofstra at the time.
yes, he
And
was.
Coach Wright, Ag knew Jay Wright, had a relationship with him, and he said, hey, just talk to my player. It was like encouraging words. And he basically said nothing. He just said, you know, hey, keep your head up. It's all right. You'll be all right. In my mind, this is the first time a Division I coach spoke to me, and I'm like,
Both teams,
wow, big deal.
big deal.
So, and it was during a time where I'm down, and he
Time of
uplifted me.
need.
Yeah, so I needed that. So that happened, but Empires, they came year after year after that, and I told them no.
Yeah, I'm
Like my
done.
mind
I'm
was
done.
like, you didn't want me, you didn't want me. That's it.
Jay, on top of that, right, real quick, my mom was like, man, this is when she started kind of turning the corner in her face. She said, you're going to make this team. And we came back and said, we ain't make the team.
Right.
We got a phone call that night. We got a phone call that night, midnight, something like
Hmm.
that. And they crossed out the name of the dude, Marcel Street, and put me into the team
Look at
that
God.
night. Yeah,
Yeah,
that night. Yeah, that night. But he, like you said, he took care of his guys, man. But it hurt because, like you said, man, we was out there just being young guys competing and trying to earn a spot on a team that we felt like we deserved, man. And that kind of was our first taste of the politics in the basketball world. Right now, we're in the neighborhood. Like you said, we'll go play in some other neighborhoods and everything like that. But we don't know the magnitude of this basketball world where we start to carry over into my junior year, your sophomore year. Let's talk about that part.
yeah. So, and your junior year, my sophomore year,
This
we
is the
come
first
back.
one.
This is the first one, baby. So now this is we're on a revenge tour. We're on a straight revenge tour. And I see you off. We're on
What's
the
up, Orb and
we
Jermaine? We got some heavy hitters
yeah,
in the
yeah.
crowd.
Now, shoot,
Salute.
I feel important. I got Auburn Scott. Auburn Scott checking in.
All but Scott checked in. He don't do social media, man. This is a big
I know,
deal.
I know. But so we're on a revenge tour. And I remember playing. So we did Hempstead 2 years. I don't want to say we did Hempstead. Was it your junior senior year?
I think I played him 3 years. I might have played him 4 years, dude. I lost to him one time, maybe twice, and we beat them twice. So I think
I
I'm two
remember
and one
winning
against them.
twice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
think
we
I'm
won
2-1.
twice because we didn't do my senior year. So okay, so we're doing Hempstead,
That's the
and
triple overtime zone.
that's a triple overtime. That's what E Ferg have 40,
E.
something
Ferg had
crazy like that.
42. Yeah,
Oh
E.
my
Ferg
goodness.
had 42, man. He was on fire.
I remember him hitting shots over, stepping over half court.
He was on
Bam.
fire, bro. He was
Yeah.
looking like Baron Davis out there. Billy Kretz had like 30. So everybody played a nice
They
game.
played. They
It
played.
was
They
it
had
was it
Deshaun
was
Moore.
yeah.
Deshaun Moore. They had Deshaun Moore. I remember there were players, and I'll touch on it later on because it's not time. It was senior year. There players for me like Mike Session, Deshaun Moore, Kenny Jones, freaking Ken. Like people don't realize Kenny.
Kenny's good, man.
Kenny and Winans just had bad timing because it was without it coincided with our dynasty. But
Yeah.
those kind of players, when I went against them, and again, this is sophomore year, this is Deshaun. I hear about him, I see him. They make you play your best game because in my mind, if I don't play my best, I'm going to get embarrassed. I'm not trying to get embarrassed.
We're not trying to get embarrassed,
You're
dude.
not trying
Not
to
at
get
all.
embarrassed though.
Not because you're gonna
And it
hear
was
about
like
it. You'll
you're
hear
going to
about
hear
it from.
about it.
You're gonna hear about it from us.
Yes, yes. You're gonna hear about locker room, you hear every practice. You're gonna hear their
Cafeteria,
lunch, yeah, their
cafeteria.
lunch and everything getting roasted in class. I was like, nah. And a matter of fact, that Hempstead game was my first in-game dunk.
Yeah.
It was like a spin move, boom. And I remember like that was my first in-game dunk. So that was preseason. That set up everything.
Yep.
And because you remember Hempstead, you had Hempstead, man, was a not a Long Island juggernaut, a New York State juggernaut. You
Facts.
know, they were forced to be reckoned with
Facts.
historically, and now they having one of their best teams,
Facts.
right?
Facts.
And we won that game, and it kind of solidified a little bit for us
Yeah.
who we thought we were.
Yeah, we
You
can do
know
this.
that
Yeah, yeah, we
that we
can.
can do this.
We can do this, man. This is we got to do. It's on. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do
So
this.
now we're playing. Now we're playing, and I just remember, man, that year. That year was the beginning of our that dynasty run
Yeah,
where we just had the confidence that we're just going to beat everyone, you
yeah.
know. And we're rolling through the year. I can't. Who did we play the Long Island Championship that year?
For
Your junior
Westbury,
year.
Westbury.
I remember that they had that big. Didn't they have that
Yeah,
big? I can't remember
Chris
his name.
Taylor. He was a good player.
Yeah,
He went. He was
yeah,
on
he was
Long
a good
Island.
player. I
We
remember that
smoked him.
Westbury.
We
Then
smoked Westbury though.
we went up, and then didn't we? Yeah, we did. Like, cause we
It
don't
was
realize
at
these
Nassau.
teams.
It was at Nassau Community. We smoked him
Yeah,
on Cablevision. Yeah, we smoked him.
we and what people didn't realize, we played so hard because A, we want to play hard, but B, it was always anytime those games came up, it was like, oh, we think Amityville was gonna lose, you know, or yeah,
Or we felt even we even put it on like they hope we lose.
right,
They
right. They
hope,
hope we
yeah, we
lose,
hope this
or they
dude's lose,
hoping,
man. We
yeah,
felt that way.
and Ag speaking that, so like we, especially those Long Island Championship game, because then now, because you know another thing too that we always battle with, Long Island goes by LeBron Cablevision. Long Island goes by class size. New York City, PSAL, they go by talent.
Yeah,
So we were class B, and then that was another edge that we had because we always felt like the A teams on Long Island, also the A teams in New York City, they always were saying they're good, but you know, they play this, play that. So it was like, all right, preseason, we're gonna play your best in your A, and we're gonna
yeah,
beat them. And then when we played our Long Island Championship,
yeah,
we wanted to make a statement too, like, look, we're not just the best team, we're this much of
yeah.
being the best
We
team
believe
is
that.
B.
We
So
believe that. And Coach Ag did a great job of kind of letting us be us, but also, you know what I'm saying, using his personality to keep us motivated.
yeah, he know what to do. He know the
He
right
knew
things
he
to
knew how
say.
to light a fire on everybody, and then be like, "Yo, we would bring him to yo. What you think about you know what I'm saying, Rick right now? Is he doing good? Nah, he's not that good." And then
Right.
and then you'll see this next level come out of these guys because of the brutal honesty.
Yeah. And this was and then remember we I want to say from there on out, from sophomore,
Yeah. My
your
junior
junior,
year, yes.
from there on out, we didn't so then we wanted to win the overall. Remember the class A.
Yes,
Remember
so
the AB.
we won the overall, and we had to play Longwood. We played Longwood first, and then we was like, this is a good team, and we ended up getting them, and they tried to get us because they fouled you out. They was calling some questionable junks, and we had guys like Lionel Watlington step up, and we beat them in
Yep.
overtime. And now we beat Hempstead and Longwood, who end up meeting in the finals. And
Right.
then Longwood went up and pretty much beat Mount Vernon.
Yeah, man.
They,
Talk about that game. Tell people
ah,
your memory is
ah,
better than
oh,
mine with that.
bro, we was there. We was in the crowd.
Yeah,
I don't know if we played already. I think we already played, and we was kind of kicked back
we're
and
up at Glen Falls,
we up
upstate.
in Glen Falls. And Longwood was not just happy to be there, man. The coach was in. They was involved, and Will McClurkin and the other dude George.
Who
They
was the
was.
point guard?
I don't remember the point guard, bro.
Vernon.
I
Wasn't
know
it Vernon
Vernon was
something?
like their wingman, Vernon Alonzo.
Alonzo. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Somebody could help us out with that. But they was cooking in the paint. You know, Ben Gordon was doing his thing, and then they had a late game shot. I think it was either a three ball after the buzzer or a tipping.
Yeah.
It was
That was
clearly,
Mount Vernon.
yeah, red light was on.
Yeah. Red light was on.
And
They
and, and,
turned the
the, and the
overtime.
ref came in and
Horrible.
was like, basket good. And then Mount
Terrible.
Vernon ended up winning the overtime, and it probably would have been Longwood's best victory in school history, and they got jerked. But we're competing and beating some of the top teams. Then we end up winning our first state title, dude.
We won our first state title.
We won our
We
first
won our
state
first
title,
state
bro.
title, and then
Public school.
we ran into St. Mary's.
St. Mary's, bro, and the Federation, man, well coached team. If we didn't know that there was no shot clock either.
Yeah, that was a
Not till
big
like
thing.
not till like the third quarter.
Yeah, like we're playing and we didn't realize. Yeah, they're playing all these games. We were like, yo, you know,
Why they got the
you know,
ball so long in this
yeah,
possession?
why they
I'm
holding the
tired.
ball? Like they gotta shoot. They gotta shoot already. So
Yeah, it was a
that was
learning
something.
lesson. It was a
Your
learning
big
lesson,
time
man.
learning lesson.
Good team, man. Joe Suarez. Shout out to those guys, Clueless and
hmm
everybody.
Kenny, one name, Kenny something. Kenny, Matt Preston,
Yeah, they
Kenny. I
had
can't remember
Curtis
Kenny's
Mayo.
last name. Joe Suarez.
Yeah,
Yeah, they had a squad.
they
They had
had
a
a
nice
squad.
squad.
So this is when we get invited to be on the stage, dude. Right after that, I was the MVP of the tournament. We
Yes.
got Gary Charles, the Henson.
Wait. You can't just gloss over that, man. Like, no, like, no, because I'll say, like, think about it. MVP of the tournament, go ahead. That
Yeah,
matters.
yeah,
That matters.
I was the
All
state MVP
state,
of the tournament. Yeah, we got all state. I think
obviously, all of that.
I was second team all Long Island. Billy Crest made
hmm
first team all Long Island.
Right.
So we got this conglomerate of talent right now. You know you're starting to ring bells, right? You
Yeah.
starting to come into your own. I'm starting to kind of come into my own. Right before that, our football team won our first Long Island championship. So we got a
Yeah.
lot of things. We got Eugene
A lot.
Nottingham, it's all Long Island. We got a lot of really premier talent. And then right off the back, so that we got Max Rose coming through,
With
Richard
track.
Payton. We got Richard Payton. We got a lot of like really good players, Trevor McIntosh. So we got a
Yeah.
lot of good players that are looking to really explode onto the scene even more so going into my senior year. So it was kind of a whirlwind, dude. We playing at IS8. We playing
Yeah.
IS8. I played IS8 before, but we playing IS8 with the Panthers now.
Now it's different, right? We're playing with the Panthers. So now, Long Island Panthers, now you're national, right?
We're national now.
We're national
From
now,
being
baby.
CYO local and a couple of hood tournaments. So you might go. I remember going and playing IS8, man. But we have Rashad Golf playing center. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? Like a couple of local guys that don't go past middle school.
Right.
John the Pass will bring us out there, and I would play
Right.
well, but we didn't have the two. We got dudes playing from Queens and Brooklyn. So we're really on the stage now with D1 guys.
Right. So now
Talk
we're
to us.
there.
Talk to us.
Now we're there, and this is summer. Because again, this is going in your senior year, my
My
junior year,
senior year,
correct?
your junior year.
Your junior year. That was the year, and I remember. So now we're playing Long Island Panthers. I think I told you recently, but the story. This again, people are why the chip on the shoulder. Guy came to Amityville. He wanted you. He wanted you because of the legacy of Mike James that we had, because he had Mike, and he's like, "Yo, Amityville has this another great guard. My name is Mike. I want him." There's plays in between, but not to that level. Ag told him like, "All right, if you want my guard, you got. I have a big man too." He was like, I don't want you big. I don't need it big." And then he's like, "Well, you ain't getting Tristan then." Guy, being a savant, that he goes, "Okay, I'll take him." Takes me. Think about the games. Like really think about it. You didn't see me in the games. I was getting DMPs,
You
baby.
was getting
I,
DMPs, dude.
I was at the end of the bench with a guy named Curtis Sumter. That's how me and Kurt became tight because we both riding the bench together, right? So the summer's going along, and do you remember that tournament no one showed up to it was in like Connecticut or
I
Jersey.
think it was New Jersey, dude. I
It
think
was
you and
Jersey.
I can't remember who, maybe Chuck. I think Chuck brought us. Maybe might have been, I might have been Chuck Vance that brought us, but a couple of
Yeah,
guys that were big time, they said, nah, we ain't going.
they ain't doing that, right? And we played against Julius Hodge and them.
Yes.
That I remember. He had to start me because there wasn't enough bodies. Like there literally was enough people. So he had to start me. Man, I freaking showed out that game. I was punching everything, finishing everything. That was my one chance. Think about it. I was not getting into games.
No.
And then from that part, I remember Kenny Adelakid, I was came back. He came back. He tells the story. He'd be like, yeah, I go away for 1 week and come back, and I lose my starting spot for the rest of the year. I was not giving up that spot after that. And I think I started to come into my own there. At least my identity. I said, look, I'm gonna dominate defensively. I'm gonna put efforts in this. I'm gonna use energy on offense, but I know defense I can control.
Yep.
I'm not waiting on anyone to
Yep.
hand me anything. I can control in many different ways. And then I was athletic. This is way before anything happened with the knee, so I could switch out into the guard. And we started dominating that summer. And then remember, I remember you tell the story. We played against Eddie Curry at that time. And this is what you was like. This is what you knew it was official. Like he tried to post me up, and I punched his shot.
Yes.
Man, he came back the next time. He had me plus. He plus 120 pounds on me.
Oh my God,
He
Jay.
drop set that joint and dunked it.
It was an N1, Jay. We
Yeah,
was at
yeah,
Duke.
yeah,
Jay, we was at Duke, and I heard
yeah,
him because we was getting the better of him.
yeah,
And his teammates said, hey, yo, he getting you out. He had a little accent, Chicago guy. And he said, Eddie Curry said, oh, really? And he got the ball very next
yeah,
possession, and he
yeah,
used his size, and he put you in the rim, and it was an N1. And he kind of looked at you and looked at his teammate, and then we kind of looked at each other, and we was like, "Oh, we really on the stage, bro.
yeah,
we gotta get better.
yeah. We gotta get
we
better. We
gotta,
gotta get
we
better.
gotta get better." Because I always had to, I didn't know. I was just being an athlete because also I play football, so I'm going
Hmm.
between two sports. I'm starting ahead of Sebastian Telfair,
Yeah, you was ahead of Bashy, and
and,
actually,
and he was not happy about it. His
no,
brother
he
was
was
not
not
happy
happy.
about it.
Nope, nope.
He
But
wasn't happy about it, bro. Like we
what?
had so many different personalities on that team and only one basketball.
Only one basketball. We had a lot. We had Charlie. Did Charlie come later? That was the following
Absolutely.
year.
Charlie was there,
Charlie that
dude.
came. That was a yeah. Charlie came Villanueva. So Bashy was there, and I remember he started calling the bench doodle squad. He was like, "You trying to
Yes.
act like we doodle?" But
Yeah.
our doodle squad was better than a lot of people's
It
starters.
was a whole a whole starting five that will run a lot of tournaments. That's how stacked up we were. But there was a lot of pride for each person because everybody was trying to get their rankings up. Everybody was trying to
Right,
get
right,
notarized, and
right.
instead of just like trying to fall in and just play good team basketball, I think that kind of hurt us. And that it was kind of just too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
But me and Ferg, shout out to Ferg, me and Eric Ferguson was the starting backcourt for that.
yeah. I remember that. And I
We had
think
three Long Island guys out there, man,
three Long
starting on the
Island
national
guys.
team.
And what helped me, honestly, you got to realize there's Jason, me personally, but then there's Long Island. Like, we always looked at different as a
Yeah,
state. Then there's Amityville. Like, we trying to say, don't mention us as like a team. Like when you mention mention us with the teams, not in a category. Like,
yeah.
don't when you have the Class A's, don't not mention us. Don't say all of that. Like we're
We didn't
slaying
have
them, we're
a
beating
we
them.
didn't have a say so in that because it went by our enrollment.
Right. So, but when you mention the greatness of us, don't do that.
Yeah,
And for me, seeing you getting the respect of all the city cats and the Class A dudes, that was a confidence booster for me because it was like a kind of like a trailblazing kind of thing. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
like it helped me see it, and then I was like, I'm gonna further cement this claim
Oh
on who
yeah,
the heck we
yeah,
are,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and who we are as Long Island, who we are as Amityville,
yeah.
who I am as an individual, and seeing that in real time in front of me. Shout out to you. Allowed me to walk in that with more confidence because the path is right there.
Yep.
I didn't have to just imagine it out of thin air, you know.
Absolutely. Yep, yep.
So that was big. And then we came home.
We came home.
I'll never forget that first summer league.
Oh
I
my!
had
I
10
think it was at
dunks.
like Deer Park or something like that. We was
I don't
playing
remember. I
somewhere. We
just
was playing
remember, yeah,
somewhere.
I had 10 dunks. I never forget it
I think I
because
had
in my
like
mind,
five.
yeah, in my mind, everyone was moving so much slower.
Yeah, it
because
did. It felt that way.
we going against national talent. I remember going against Melo with his quick first step, and I remember catching a ball, and I'm swinging through, and I'm like, "Where's the defender?" And I was just like, dunk, 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 and I remember it was an eye opener, and it was good. It was good, and
Yeah,
then we finished the summer, and now we gearing up for the year,
for the year,
and
dude.
now we really trying to take Amityville on a national level, and then early on we played against Malloy.
Yeah, so let me kind of segue into this. We won the football last year. We have Antoine, myself coming back, and we had a host of other really good football players, right? So I'm not touching the basketball, right, until into the wintertime. I'm
Into
playing
the wintertime.
I'm playing football, right? And I was highly recruited for football. So we go all the way to the title game and we lose to Bethpage by 1 point.
Yeah, I remember that. They had
Yeah,
those
some
they were
big guys, dude. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
they had some
no
big
neck.
guys. So yeah,
Yeah.
so what I'm saying is that we come out right off the bat playing the national powerhouse with only a handful of practices together.
A handful. A
One
handful.
handful. Yeah,
And I know you're just laying it down but I like it matters. It matters. Details matter.
yeah.
You're literally coming from football and everyone says, "Oh, um the thing is you're looking for football. I mean, you're coming from football, but in all reality, and you say highly recruited, we're talking SEC. SEC. It's like if you were a football legend. It's like Antoine saying, "Hey, I didn't touch a football. I didn't touch a football because I'm in basketball season all the way until a week before the first game, and I was getting recruited by Duke. Like you're getting recruited by SEC as a receiver. Scott, what was it? Tennessee offered you, didn't they?
Yeah, Tennessee hit me up. They was the first people to ever call me, and it was on the nurse's phone. Phil Fulmer. They just won the national title.
Yeah,
T Martin was the coach. He had T Martin was the quarterback, black guy. And I remember hearing the thick accent. I'm trying to get you down here, son. And I'm looking at the phone like, what is this, dude?
right.
Nobody. My dad was recruited, but not heavily. My brother played 1AA at Hofstra. But you and I, Antoine, we're kind of like the first of this modern time frame to start getting these heavy recruitments.
Yeah,
We don't know what to do. We just taking it
yeah,
in stride best we can. So
right.
for me, like this is another thing. Who was training us, dude? Who was training us? It was
No
just
one. That like the, like my uncle,
yeah,
my uncle like
Bolden
yeah, it
Mac
was no
Park,
yeah. I
the A
didn't.
Center. Like
Ice was around, but I
he
don't
wasn't
know.
quite there yet.
I
It
wasn't.
was a little bit later.
Yeah, I just wasn't.
He was a little bit
I
later.
didn't know about like we didn't do individual training. We didn't
We
do
didn't do
we
it,
we
bro.
just we did ourselves the the park ball the vets those are the ones that was teaching us the game, you
Yeah.
know. But the individual training, no. So like again, we we were literally days before a game against Malloy, who's practicing scrimmage and off season and
And they
everything.
all basketball players, high level Division I players. Jack Curran is the coach. So we go into and play him at Manhattan, like fresh.
Right,
Like we just gonna figure it out.
right. Because think about it, we there with Sweets. But like Sweets can't physically say like do this, do that. You know, like we
Right.
didn't have anyone, so now we're playing. And think about it. We're I want to say maybe a week before a game before Malloy, our second and third best player haven't touched a basketball in months.
Months. I haven't touched a
Like
basketball. I
like
think
touch
maybe
it.
one time I played lupus and I showed up late because of football practice. I showed up late to lupus. To don't play touch the basketball one time since August. And we playing in November. December.
Think about that.
Yeah.
3 months clean, going on 4 months. Your second and third best player. And again, when I say second, third best player, it wasn't just because Twan was just the third best player. He was all Long Island that year. You know,
Yep.
like no, he could freaking hoop. You know, matter of fact, I remember him getting looks. Was it low D1 major? I remember he was getting looks with
Yeah,
basketball as well, but he
I
made
think he
it
had a few
clear.
black schools that was looking at him.
Yeah, like HBC,
HBCU,
yeah, yeah.
I think Adelphi was looking at him and everything like that. So we had that. What's our thought process going into my senior year, junior year, man? And
We
then
wanted we wanted a national spotlight. I remember that. So we wanted a national spotlight. I remember we had the Malloy, but then we had that scrimmage against Christ the King. and I never forget it. They won't talk about this, but I'll say it. We scrimmaged in Christ the King, mind you. They had was the center named Kelly?
Nah, Zach, was it Zach Williams?
Zach, what was Zach? It was a Williams. Yeah, yeah. That
He
was
went
him.
to Ohio State. This is my junior year, your sophomore year, but this is some of us getting
I
on the
forgot
national stage.
about that. Yeah.
Omar Cook.
So that goes into it because Omar Cook is their guard,
Yep.
right? So right before this is why we're saying like we want this national stage. O Cook is their guard. Zach Williams is their D1 center. They were scrimmaging, and it was cute because we're this cute team from Long Island that they're scrimmaging. Then when we started cracking that tail and we went up, that's when they cut the score. Remember that they
Yeah,
cut the score and they was like
they
they're
took
like,
it.
no, we're not keeping score anymore. We're just
Right.
playing. We're just playing, right? And it was like a win for Long Island. But then so now you fast forward now, we're going into your senior year, my junior year. We feel established. Me, yourself, and Twine are the established leaders of the team, skill wise. Then we have soon to be Amityville legends right there with us, and Trevor. You have Richard. Who am I missing?
Rick,
I feel like I'm missing one.
Max.
Rick, Max. Like you
Yeah.
have all these fills. We had a squad, and we're 5 games. We're a week, 7 days removed from that first game. We lost that tough one
Yep.
against Malloy, and I want to say that was our only loss for the season. Correct?
That's it, man. That's it.
So now we won the year before. The town and our parents were so confident at the beginning of the school year, they were taking off in March for work. Days that they're not going to be, you take you put in your request, you can't change your request. They were finding the Glen Falls date. And in Glen Falls, man, after that second year, they embraced the crap out of us. It
They
was
did.
great. We
They
we
did.
um we played, then we did was that the year we played Jericho or was that my senior year?
No, that was when that we played Jericho.
That was your senior year, right?
Yes.
We played Jericho. I want to say we beat them by 51.
Yeah, we could have probably beat them by a good 90, dude. Like
Yeah,
we was fully locked in.
we're fully locked in because again we won. Again it was a statement again because coach always looked for every little thing. There was an article and I'll never forget. They were saying like a way that Jericho could potentially win this game, and we
Yeah,
were like, see, here we
yeah,
go again.
yeah,
So and we did that. We did that to to make a statement. And it's one of the few times. And here's the thing that coach doesn't get credit for. Respectfully, I don't fault them. All our competitors, if they could beat us by 50, they would.
yeah.
They wouldn't pull back. Coach, we won. That was, and again, we won your junior year. Newsday did an article. I want to say between our margin of victory is around 32 points a game per game during the season. So we get to the Long Island Championship. We wanted to make another statement, and we won by 51. Coach could have won games by 50 each, but a lot of people don't realize you graduated that year as the all-time leading scorer, right?
Yes.
Then I came the next year all-time leading scorer, but both of us did not play. We were remember we were all tri-state. Remember,
Yeah. Yes.
two of us. Well, that's Jersey, all of PSAL, all of the public schools in New York, and all of Long Island
And
as
Connecticut.
and Connecticut.
Yeah. Tri-state.
Yet still, the whole tri-state area. Yet still, two was it team 5 or 6? I want
Uh
to say at least 5, but I
on
don't know if they added a 6th one. The
on
tri-state team, like
Yeah,
first team,
there
second
was like
team.
8 of us. It was Julius Hodge, Ben Gordon, Ingram, the dude
Yeah.
from Christian Brothers, and us.
Yes. Bigley. It was a Tim Bagley or Tim? No,
Yes.
Tim something.
Tim Begley,
Yes.
white dude. Yep.
Yep. And then you and myself, think about it. Two guys from again, there was always that issue that we had. The two guys from Class B on
Yeah.
the same team
Yeah.
that, some didn't say play against people, made tri-state first team. Now, so it was like everything was about being a statement. Everything was about fighting for that respect, fighting for that honor. So we did that, and we made a tri-state. We
We
win
was
the
third. We
Long
was
Island by
third,
51.
and we was third, and we ran the table after that, bro.
Ran the table.
We ran it.
We won
We was trying
Class
to be
A.
historic. We was trying to be historic, and we almost went unblemished, but we came up third in the tri-state. St.
Yes.
Ray's with like 10 losses, they put them over us, and they put St. Anthony's, Jersey
Yeah,
City
Sandy.
over us.
Yeah,
So we
they had
came in
like they
third.
had a few. Yeah. We thought we should have been, but
Yeah,
top three, and
but
we
I
took
mean,
that.
those are two historic
Yeah.
programs. They're private schools, and we was third. So
Yep.
we kind of put that statement down, dude. So I leave, dude. I
Yeah.
leave on the mountaintop, man. I win my last game. I go on to St. John's University. Now it's before I left. What was in your thought process? Because now you're the big fish, bro. We all know
Right.
that, right? You're 6'10". You got so much promise and upside, but you're doing your thing now. We all understood that. NBA prospect. Why do you feel like you kind of let me be the leader of the team?
Let you be the leader of the team.
Yeah,
You talk about when you were a senior.
yeah.
So I think you're being a little bit humble. I didn't let you anything. Like this is this is why. Know my okay. Know my personality.
Yeah, your
Attitude.
personality.
I am a team guy. I am
You
a
are.
team guy. But I'm not letting anyone do anything. You know what I
Facts.
mean? Like you earned that. You took it. You were too good. Like you gotta. So I'm gonna say this so I could put it to rest and leave it alone. The All Decade Newsday team came out, right? And
Yes.
it was written by what's his last name? Sarah?
Greg, Sarah, and Candell.
Okay. This is the disrespect I'm talking about. That we always felt like, because a lot of people, and I'm glad that we're having this conversation, because a lot of people they see from the outside, they may thought something, but here's the stuff that we're dealing with. We're getting cut from empires when we should have made it, right? Um, there's teams that we should make, we're not making. We're told even recently, some people will say, yeah, but you guys play Class B, and I'm like, look, we beat all the A teams that went upstate, and we're ranked nationally. Like what? Like enough was never enough.
Yeah.
Then we have this all decade team. You're saying, why did I give it to you, give you the lead, and then took over after you left? I didn't give anything. You
Yeah.
were that good. You
Thank
you
you,
were
bro.
Class B State Player of the Year. You were two-time champion. You were on the AAU circuit with all the best players during. I'm talking about during the era where we had players.
Yeah.
Like where New York was filled with, and nationally it
Yeah.
was just talent all over. You were just too good. You earned that thing, and I felt actually, I felt like I had a partner more than ever. Not just in talent, but we were here because you were
Facts.
upperclassmen.
Facts. That's
You were
fair.
upperclassmen, and I felt I had a partner.
Yep.
So I was going to war with an equal partner, and we were bouncing things off. I just had a role, my
Facts.
role, and you're a guard too. So you're orchestrating offense, but defensive, I'm like, yo, I'm talking to everyone, and then
Yep.
then we got now, mind you, we are at this point, if you count playing in the neighborhood, we're in year 7,
Yeah.
right, of playing together.
Yeah.
Maybe not on the same exact team, but if we're playing on the same part team or playing against each other, we learn each other.
Yep.
Where you and I were communicating in the games, and we weren't even saying a word. It was just a tap
Non-verbal.
shoulder. You would just
Non-verbal.
nod everything.
Yep.
You would contest a shot. I would get the rebound, or you'll tip it. I'll get the rebound, turn around and just throw it, and none of us looked at each other, and the ball goes from my hand right under the basket to you. It was just we were just like this,
Facts.
right?
Yes.
And again, you equally were dominant, and it wasn't. If I could dominate to the point where like you had to give it a ball, yes, I would have. Yes, like that's my motor. I'm just not gonna hold back, but I'm
Yes.
going to be a team player. So
Yeah.
you earn all of that. So then you graduate, and then I went and played AAU.
Talk to me.
That's what made me.
Yeah.
So here's two things people don't talk about. My AAU team won the most out of all AAU teams. We didn't lose one game during the summer. I could be wrong in case there's a team I missed at some point, because I remember, shout out to the great, it was two things. Earl Watson was, he and I were assistant coaches in the G League together, shared a room. We talked about this because his team it was him, Baron Davis, um, the Rush brothers, the older one, Jerron Rush, Corleo Young, he said?
Yeah.
No.
That's a tough team. That's a lot of.
Oh,
That's a
yo,
lot of heat.
they were unreal. It was his team, and then you had the church team that
Niggas
had
got Ron Artest
uh,
and them.
Artest, Barkley, Glover.
Mm-hmm.
Odom was with them at one point too, but they had man, they
Reggie
had
Jesse, I think, was on
Reggie
that team.
Jackson. They ran, but those teams like lost once or one tournament or two tournament, right? Kareem Rush, yeah. Um, now watch this. Um, our team play, we ran everything. They remember Adidas was king then. We took all Adidas tournaments. Then we went down and won the Bob Gibbons. We won. What's the other one that's down there? Bob Gibbons is one.
Bob Givens is a
Um,
big one. The
yeah,
Vegas joint, Vegas,
we won Vegas big time. We won
big
double pump.
time.
We won Hofstra three stripes. And I'm talking about we're beating teams. We
Nah, these are national teams.
Chris Bosh, Ike Diago, Daniel Horton, Jason Horton. Matter of fact, no one could beat our team. They made a team. They created a team to try to beat us. It was Chris Staff, Sebastian Telfair, LeBron James, um, number one player out of Indiana. He went to the league too. They had Karan Clark who went to DePaul. They created that team IS8 and they went up 15 on us, and then we came back and won. Here was the issue. We had early on we had Gary Irvin. Laney was there for a little bit, but then when Gary, I forgot another team recruited Gary away from us, and then we had Darryl Hill. And
Showtime.
when we had Showtime,
Oh
you
boy,
couldn't guard Showtime one on one, so he'll
no, you
just break you
cannot.
down.
No, he's a breakdown guy.
Teams would try to press him, so like
No,
he'll just break him down. He'll back up,
no.
break him down from half court. Now think about it. You got me athletic on the wing, then you got Curtis something on the other wing, and then you got on the baseline side. Then on the wing, left wing, right. So me and Curtis is on the corners. Then you have left wing or the right wing.
Charlie.
You have Charlie Villanueva and Taekwon Dean,
Oh man.
who has a ratchet on him. They both shooters, right? So he just went there and was just pass and dunk. Then our calling card was defensively.
Oh man.
Defensively, we had guys out get after it, but then you had me in the back. That's if you got past our first line of defense, like how you and I did in school,
Yeah,
then I
absolutely.
was there. And then it was
Oh my
outlet
God.
galore, outlets and dunks. So we run the
You
table,
run the summer.
run the summer. Here's the other part they don't talk about. I just ran into Jimmy Salmons at EYBL, and it would be good to get Jim Salmon and Gary Charles on. They would tell
Absolutely.
you singularly, because it's never been mentioned. I'll just say this one time on a public format.
Talk
I
to me.
won the most AAU games in a single summer because the Panthers won everything.
Everything.
Then I did 4 or 5 tours because there's always a downtime. Like
Yeah.
we won all the ISH. There's like a time where like it's like a 3-week or whatever it is that they give you off. I went and played with the St. Thomas players and we ran the table.
So you
We
guest
went to
played and you was
Chicago.
running the table.
Guess what? Ran it because I went with Elijah Ingram and all of them. Ran the table, won everything. The winning this summer. So I'm coming from that.
You come
So
from
in
that.
my mind, and then at one point during the summer, Rivals Hoops ranks me the number 1 player in the country.
Ooh.
And they explained it. They said they mentioned Melo, they mentioned Amari and Raymond Felton. They was talking about they got the talent and everything, but what they gave me kudos to was at the end of the day, I was gonna win. Like I was gonna get the stop, I was gonna score the bucket, whatever it was. So I'm going, and the only reason why I'm saying all of this way is because you asked me how did my mindset become what it was in my senior
Absolutely.
year.
No, this is important.
So I'm running the table on everyone. So now I'm coming back. So in my mind, I'm ready to take over.
Yes.
And I didn't know. I was fortunate. And here's one thing: we're playing, and yes, most decorated play in Amityville history and everything. I'm very, very, very fortunate. Do I believe Shelton probably would have? No, not probably. He would have. Shelton Jones would have won more if he played with a senior Tristan Smith. No knock. I don't know whose guards were, but I'm just saying it added the guard. It wasn't you. Senior Tristan Smith, and then later on he plays with a young AJ Price. I was very fortunate to have you on the front end and had AJ on the back end. Even though AJ was young, like if AJ was a junior or senior, oh shoot, we wouldn't have lost. We'd have finished ranked
Oh
1
my
or 2 in the
goodness.
country that year.
Yes.
But we're going into my senior year, and then now we're a national brand because Reebok's come and Reebok's giving us free gear. Amityville never had this, or a sneaker company came and said, we're going to sponsor you and give you free gear.
You brought that heat, bro. Like starting my junior year, man, they starting to get on this wave. We starting to see the sponsorships. We had Adidas. Now you got Reebok. You are on the scene, dude. You are a 5-star recruit, bro. Talk to us. Now you're on the national stage. You had matchup with LeBron James, bro. Talk to us about that.
So that game was interesting because we're going to slam dunk to the beach and
Where you at? Where you at? For people that don't know, what state are you in?
Delaware.
Okay, finish up.
Delaware. So slam dunk to the beach in Delaware. And it's a great tournament, great teams. There was different type of it wasn't a traditional tournament where everyone bracket where everyone comes and then the two top teams play each other. You had like a gold, platinum, or silver. You had different kind of branches. And one, I was in LeBron's line. He beat, I want to say St. Benedict's. Bowers was there. He beat St. Benedict's. Then we beat Bishop Loughlin. We played Kirk.
Y'all play Kirk.
I went crazy. I played such crazy defense, punching everything, running, and Kirk got mad at me. But cause the thing is, when you're playing with your friends, you got to play super hard. I'm not gonna have you, talk about years later how you do it
bro,
on me.
listen, man, you got a
Excuse me.
background. This is all you know. When I'm on there, you had to talk with
Right.
Uncle Paul. You're like, nah, you not my friend right now.
Right? No.
You in the way.
No. Yeah, you're in the way.
That's how we practice,
So
though.
that's how we practice. So we beat Bishop Loughlin, and Braun won earlier. People stayed after, and they tapped me on the shoulder. I never forgot. We was feeling good because Amityville was like, "Yo, this is really happening. We're a national brand." We had Bible studies before the games. Yeah. I had brought a word, and we prayed, and we do all of this. So we beat Bishop Loughlin. Now we playing against LeBron and them. Getting ready. The next day we play. So we just finished walking off the court. You know that feeling. Delaware, slam dunk to the beach. Dude taps my shoulder. He said, "Hey, you Fraser, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, Amityville." And he had a friend right next to him or a family member. I go, "Yeah. You guys just play. Y'all playing LeBron, right?" And then he said, "Yeah." Then he taps him. He goes, "Hey, I told you this is the team that LeBron and I'm gonna kill tomorrow." And I remember going like, "Oh."
They let you hear that, and they don't know your background.
In my face, and he let me hear it. He was right here, like he let me hear it. He was telling, like, he tapped me.
He pointed to you like this guy right here.
If he extended his arm 6 more inches, he would have been hitting me. That's how close he was. He was like this in my face, like this is the team that LeBron and I'm gonna kill tomorrow.
The ultimate disrespect.
I turned to Trevor, I turned to Max, and I looked at AJ. I was like, we're gonna talk tonight. So we talked. We played a game. The game starts off. P would tell you. PJ would tell it. They were young, so they were nervous. So when they took the ball over to begin the game, someone chipped it away, stole it. LeBron, quick as ever, he's the man child, scoops the ball up, takes one dribble from half court, and does his signature when he cocks that joint way out here.
Everybody's going crazy.
First play, mind you, they said they're gonna blow us out. It's not gonna be a game, and that's the first play.
Not looking good.
So not looking good. He coming down. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. And I'm mad. I'm like, take the ball out.
Come on, fellas.
Took the ball out. I gave it to him. I said, give it back to me. Brought it up to half court. Passed it back up. They quickly shot it because they're still nervous. They're
heart is beating out.
Because mind you, I did right. Heart's beating like that. I've been on the national scene. I've been doing it, so this ain't nothing. The ball hits the front of the rim, comes off the backboard. I came and clapped that joint. I tried to rip the rim down.
Yeah.
I land, and my momentum took me to where LeBron is. So I clapped in his face. I said, "Come on and bring it now." And now I'm talking crazy.
Oh yeah, we here.
We going back and forth, back and forth. The game was runs, man. They said it was the greatest game in slam dunk to the beach history. So if we're down 7, we come back and tie the first quarter. They down. They come back and tie the second quarter. Third, and it was like on some. I had 2 turnaround threes that game. Like I'm talking about, like it was a full arsenal, dog.
You played out like a video game. Creative player guy.
Yeah, it was unreal. It was unreal. LeBron come in. I think he had 37 that game, and I want to say like 14 assists. He hitting NBA threes. He's doing all that stuff, right? I'm talking bad. I'm talking greasy to him. I got the ball on the block. I'm posting, and remember they are big as a center, so I'm holding. I'm like I'm ignoring him. I'm like, come get me, bro. Come get me, bro. You don't want this, like, because they started. So now I'm talking crazy.
Yeah.
You don't want this. And I said, see everyone, he's scared. And then I spin off my guy and dunk him. But I told you he's scared.
Yeah, Jay.
this how we talking. I'm talking my talk and doing it
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So we go back and forth.
You had Bolden at Grand Union Park
Yeah,
with
we do it. Yeah. So he's scoring, and I'm talking crazy. And mind you, he ain't used to battling being tied the whole entire time,
No,
right? So
no.
we were doing punching shots. AJ coming down, cash. AJ looking nice here. He coming, his guy scoring. So now we in the fourth quarter. We getting down towards the end of the game. I'm talking crazy, laid it up. It was a loose ball. It was a offensive rebound for his team. So we're on defense. I ran to get the ball. It hit the rim, and it was one of those long rebounds where the
Yeah.
guards where you would normally get it, right? So LeBron beat me to he scoop it. He scooped it and was about to go right past me. He scooped and looked at me and said, "Oh, oh, Maya, I've been talking to him crazy
You
all
talking
game,
crazy, Jay?
and
I-
kicking his team's tail, right?" He was like,
Isolation,
oh my, oh
isolation,
yeah, ISO. And I'm like,
isolation.
yo, I'm like, yeah. I'm pulling up my shorts. Now, T, I'm gonna say we 5 feet past the 3-point line. This
That's that.
LeBron.
That.
Yo, I'm clapping my hands, and he was going
Yeah. Oh,
this,
yeah. He going
pulling it back,
downhill.
right?
He about to go downhill.
Down here. And I'm like, come on. And then I'm no dummy though. I ain't gonna let pride get the best of me.
You know.
I passed the 3-point line. I realized I was like, Jay, what do you, I'll never forget. I said it in my head, I said, what are you thinking?
What are you thinking?
Prideless. Help! Help!
No,
Help!
I
Yo,
need.
I'm calling for
Yeah,
help, right?
I'm out
Ain't no
my
help come.
element.
Ain't no help come, right? Ain't no help come. I'm out my element. I can switch on guards, but this ain't no regular guard.
This is
You know
not
what
a
I'm saying? You
regular
got to
guard here, man.
man, listen, I wish I could show you in person how, or demonstrate it to give it the full effect. He crossed me so fast and so hard that when he crossed me, I kid you not, he's one of 3 plays that made me say wow in
Yeah,
real time.
he's a wild guy, bro.
It literally looked like this. He just went, that's it. That's all I saw, and
That's
then
what
he
you
was
saw.
gone. I didn't see him going past me. He was
Um,
so fast. So he crossed me. By the time I realized he crossed me, I late swiped, and he was already on the side of me. It wasn't even like cross me. Yo, it was so fast, dog. He went and laid it up. And that was it was him. He was one of my 3 wow moments. It was him, Rudy Gay in college when he ripped baseline, dunked it so hard. We was billing over UConn. We were jockeying for #1 in the country. I was like, yo, that's different.
he's
And
different.
Amari
Absolutely.
Stoudemire during AAU because he
Super
tried to
different.
play after the whistle. Like, I didn't let you score after the whistle. If
No,
you blew
no,
the
no. You're
whistle, it was a
blocking
dead
that.
ball. Yeah, he hit me with a shoulder. I fell on the ground. He still dunked that joint so hard. And I
Yeah.
remember going like, it's okay. It's a little
That,
different. You know what I
that's
mean? Yeah.
different.
So
Yeah.
it's different. So
Those are 3 elite guys right
yeah,
there.
man.
Best of the
So
best.
LeBron does this crossover. He just glitched. That's all I saw. Like he just barely vibrated. And he just was gone. Yo, it was so fast though. So he did that. Then right after that, we go up. We go up 4 still,
Yeah,
right?
how this game end, bro? Bring this to a close, bro.
We go up 4. We go up 4, and all that. He's not LeClutch. He's not this. Yeah, Fooey. He comes down. He hits. He's like 5 feet, maybe 7 feet behind the high school 3-point line. Hits a and one.
Ah,
Trevor fouled him. I was so mad.
come on, Trevor. You're like, come
So
on, bro.
EJ fouled him, right? I was like, come on, Trev. But I couldn't win that game without Trev because Trev had to guard LeBron
Yeah,
James
he
the
held
whole
him
entire
down.
game.
They,
Yeah,
like size.
he did because LeBron had 37, but it was a hard-earned 37 that didn't
Yeah.
allow them to blow up the lead. He
Yup,
made
and
them
get the
earn everything.
crowd involved like they really wanted to get involved.
Right, right.
Yup,
Everyone was
understood.
shocked. So he hits the 4-point play, and he hits the 4-point play, ties the game, or he tied the game, or I want to say he might have went up 1. So we needed this, right? I think he went up 1, and AJ missed a pair of free throws before that, right? I got the ball out when LeBron hits this real quick because college league kind of stuff. You can celebrate and everything. Team ain't gonna wait for you. I took that ball out there. I snatched it out the net, threw it up to AJ at half court. LeBron fast as crap, chased him down, fouls him where
Yeah.
AJ can't even get the shot off. I went up to AJ, and this shows how we were different. We were family. Amityville, you already was a part of it. You just happened to graduate this time. I
Yup.
walked up to AJ and I said, look, remember what we prayed about when we talked about in Bible study, about putting things in God's hand, how God's in control. and I said, you missed the first two. It don't matter. I love you. I know you got this. And this to show you true brother. I kissed him on the head, on the top of the head, like,
Yeah.
this is like we're family,
Family
So
with it.
he goes down, ice both free throws, game over.
Let's go, A.
And that put us on the national map. It cemented us
Oh,
on a
yes, it
national map.
did. Yes, it
So
did.
USA Today comes out after that, and we're number 4 in the country.
How the rest of the season go, bro? Because this is a mind blower. Then you have put, and then AJ coming along. What we did the previous season, we're on the national stage, dude.
National stage. So we're number 4 in the country, and then we come home. We're running the table. We're beating everybody. We played. I'm trying to see who was Long Island Championship senior year.
There was a wine dance in
Whitman.
there. There's like
No, Wine Dance meant to
Whitman,
beat to go there. Whitman. It was Whitman. I remember that
Walt
game.
Whitman.
Whitman. They played.
Good team.
They played. Good. Mark. LeBron talk. Mark Johnson loves LeBron talk. Wink,
He,
wink. But
he does.
anyway, yeah. So we're playing. We're playing. Before the Long Island Championship, we playing a very good wine dance, and we kicked it. We kicked their butt only because, and that's not because I say that respectfully. Again,
Timing.
I respected Kenny Jones' game so much.
I love that.
Oh, no. This is senior year too. Mike Session. So I had to go up against.
Now Mike Sessions going with me. Yeah, probably was Kenny.
So that's when we played. We played Mike and them. That was
Smoked
you
him.
and I.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
blew
smoked,
up.
yeah.
We smoked him. They was
them.
trying to get that matchup. You had heavy
Right.
respect for him, but you said it's
Yes.
not going to happen today.
It's not going to happen. Not today.
And we beat him on Cablevision.
Yes, the Cablevision. Say it again, T. Where we beat them on?
Cablevision, bro.
Cablevision,
I got a technical and everything. We was into that game.
You were into it. So then we played. So then now, senior, we playing against Wine Dance, and I was talking greasy because remember during the summer. Let me shout out to Kopeg. Kopeg always have ballers, and Kopeg wasn't afraid of anyone. And this is my turn, and like to put everything together, you gotta remind you, I paid my due. I went against the Damian Fraser. I went against the Wilmer Kirkland. I went against wow, how do I know? He went to Whitman. Will Frisbee.
Will Frisbee
Right.
from Bay Shore. We got Justin Simon, right? You got Mike Sessions, Deshaun Moore.
Sessions. I went against these older dudes
Chris Taylor.
and pay my dues. Now here's another thing. I can't remember when did we play Kopeg because Aaron Johnson.
Well, we play Aaron Johnson in the neighborhood, dude.
And that's what it was. I just remember because here's my thing.
He was one of the guys, bro.
Everyone have their stuff that they have issues with. I hated players like that. It was a freaking brick wall. I was skinny as hell. What was I supposed to do? Right?
He was Ben Wallace, like, bro. He was a man.
Oh my gosh! Like, and it was just like.
Shout out to Aaron.
They were so annoying playing players like that for me because they were strong as heck. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And wasn't tiny. Like had enough height. I think he's 6'7".
Yeah,
so
and we wasn't in the weight room. We wasn't in the weight room, bro. Like
no.
What's the weight room? We was out there just hooping and being young guys that was dogs.
Right. So for me, I paid my dues after all these guys. So this is my time. And then now I got this Kenny Jones guy who respectfully, he was short, he was smaller, had the height, athleticism, but nonetheless, he was no slouch. And I had to bring my A game. I could not allow this guy to get any confidence. I cannot allow the guy to get the upper hand on me because who knows what could happen, right? So I'm bringing my A game, and it was bad. I remember what did we do? Like we were playing, we went up, we hit like a 3 or a dunk, and I said, call the timeout. I'm yelling like that.
Call the timeout. Game.
His coach called timeout, and I was like, Coach Stubby, they suck. Like just talking.
Oh
crazy.
Yeah, you're trying to get under their skin.
Respectfully,
get under their skin because you know how good they are.
I said it respectfully to wine dance. There wasn't like, oh, here's what we did to him because it's just wine dance. Nah, we respected them so much that
I gotta throw you off your game. I gotta throw you off your game.
Gotta throw you off. So then we win that. We go upstate, Glen Falls. Everyone's waiting for us. No, we win that. We go to the overall championship against Walt Whitman, because again, we have to make sure that we're the best team on Long Island. It's not just a
Yeah.
class thing, that always that edge, right? And
Right.
so we played against Whitman. They played a very good game because I forgot Matt's last name. They had a center named Matt, and then they had Hall of Famer
Ross. Matt Ross.
Matt Ross. Then he had Antoine
Agudio
Agudio, and
and
then they
Nick
had Nick
Carter.
Carter.
That's a good trio.
It's a good team. And then
That's
they
a good
had
team.
Brian Foster too. Was it
That's
Foster's the last name?
yeah. Shout out to
Yeah,
B. Yeah.
yeah. So like, no, they had a squad. So I remember that was one of the few games in my whole entire career that Ag played me regular minutes, like
hmm
normal minutes, like how any coach will play their star player, and I
hmm
only had 20 points. I had only 20 or 22 points because normally I would say the only one time he played me like that, I had 44 against Miller Place senior year. That was
Oh
my
yeah. Oh yeah.
behind because he
Yeah.
allowed me to play. Because that's another thing. You averaged 23, I averaged 21, 22, and that was done in less than 3 quarters. I was 2.5 quarters. We weren't allowed to play the fourth, and he only remember third quarter was start. He'd be like, "All right, guys, you got 5 minutes
Oh
max."
man, we be out there trying to go
Yeah.
wild before the
Sometimes
whistle.
he'll be like 3 minutes. We'd be like 3 minutes, coach. And we got all out, and we subbed in the first half. So we did all our numbers in 2.5, almost 3 quarters.
Yep.
So Whitman played a very good game, had 20 points, but I remember I had 30 rebounds. So we uh we go up there, we go upstate, and we play against Peekskill for the championship with Hilton Armstrong,
Ooh.
who's a NBA pro who went
Yep.
to UConn,
UConn with
and
it.
I can't remember their point guard, but I believe their point guard went D1 too. She was a shorter point guard, athletic, dark skinned dude, stocky. So I like they had a good team. And now here's the irony: we play against Peekskill. Peekskill, Elton Brand went to Peekskill. He had the state rebounding record. I said before the game, I said I'm taking the single game record and double game record. I said I'm taking it.
I'm
And the
taking it.
irony is I'm taking it against the
Your school.
person team that school that holds it, that individual, I'll take it. And we won the championship and I don't know how many I needed 19 that game. I got just 19 or 20 something. It was like I know I have the two game. I think my two game still stands to this
Still
day.
standing.
The state record for the class that is. Um, we win that, and then we lost Federation to St. Mary's in
St.
overtime.
Mary's, man. St. Mary's is a
In
good
overtime.
spot. Shout out to St. Mary's, man.
St. Mary's, yeah. Mamadou Dakiti. Shout out to Mamadou, Matt Preston, and Kenny. Um,
They always have a
they
good
always had a
game
good
plan,
one.
man. Always have a good game plan. They got a nice collection of guys, bro.
It,
So you have this illustrious career, bro.
yeah,
Not only was you doing it there, but you was doing it in the classroom, man. We used to compete with each other
yes,
for class
yes,
because we understood how the moniker it is, especially for a black team, to not be able to do their academics. So we
yeah.
used to compete with each other for academics too, and you did that too.
But you were the lead though. You remember that? Like, and we were fighting neck and neck because you were academic all county the year before, right?
Yeah, I
And it,
did.
and it
I had a good average. Yeah.
and it wasn't just because good average. Ag made us. You have to earn it. You have to have the highest average. Remember that?
Yeah, he
Because we were
pushed us, and
competing.
he put that in our mind too. You know what I'm saying? To be like, look, man, y'all got to be more than just bouncing the basketball. So we took that to heart.
It started for me. It was my sophomore year. Um, Ag came to me. He was upset, and he was like, "You don't want it. You're not working." No, no, it was junior year because we already won a state championship the previous year before. He said, "You're not working hard. You don't want it." And he basically was hitting me, like he was going like this to
Poking
me,
his finger in his
but he
chest.
was poking me as hard as you could poke without breaking
Right,
your
right. You're
finger.
like, come on,
And he
Ag,
was like,
chill,
"You
man.
don't
There's a
put
little
it." Yeah,
muscle
he was
behind
hitting me,
that.
and I was like, "Coach, what do I do?" He said, "You're not serious." Because again, with a lot, and this is the platform, so I would tell her a lot of people don't know the story on what Amityville was dealing with. You had others in the community that was mocking us and always finding a way to degrade us as players, as people. It wasn't a majority, but it was enough. And some of them were prominent coaches, and they would say things, and they would say to Ag, or they would say it right around him so he can hear it, passive aggressively, letting them know that you couldn't say we weren't great players, you couldn't say we didn't work hard, but you can then, all right, can I knock you down academically? Could I say you're a dumb kid, you're a dumb jock, you'll never amount to anything in college? Can I say that? And that's what they were attacking. So and then you couple that with I was told I'll never be nothing past the fifth grade level, and I
Wow,
always
wow.
remember that.
And we didn't
So
know that part.
so that was my thing.
That's something
That's why I fought.
unusual.
Remember, I was fighting so hard to get it from you
Yes,
your senior year,
yes,
and like we were
understood
just
now.
like point 0.5 off and stuff like that. So senior year, we had a lot of smart kids on the team still, and I finally got it. I got academic all county at over 90 average, and it was something that was so liberating. I had IS8 MVPs, I had state player of the year, I had all the state championships, all tournament, class B player of the year, overall player of the year, all these accolades. But my favorite award was academic all county because I was always remember being told you amount to be nothing.
That's big, Jay.
And that was my award. And that put the icing on the cake for me.
That's big,
And
Jay. Salute to you, man, because you had an illustrious career, man. Maybe the best in the history of Long Island. And I kind of stand on that because you was also a pro prospect. Now let's talk about this decision. Are we going
so
college or are we going to the NBA?
so I had to pray on it. But you gotta remember, T, here's the thing. I just wanted to play ball so much
Yup.
that I never forget Fred Quarterbaugh from Northcutt UNC. He comes in early in the year, and mind you, at this time I'm already listed as going to be a McDonald's All American, all this other stuff.
Yes, you
Jerry
one of the guys.
Jerry West came to go see me play because they because you can go out
The
of high school
Grizzlies.
then.
He's with the
Yeah, it was
Grizzlies.
with the Grizzlies. Jerry West came. All these other NBA scouts came. I was a prospect. I was like, all right, he's gonna go first round, right? So
Lottery.
everyone want to look. So I'm looking late lottery, definitely by the 20 something. I forgot it was like 21st pick. I don't know if it was Indiana or Seattle. One of them. I gotta look at the year. They said I was number one on the board, so they were going to take me. So that was a guarantee. That's if I didn't get taken in the lottery towards the end.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So this is what we're dealing with. This is that kind of year.
Wow.
And UNC comes in, they leave, and I said to coach, I was like, Coach, I think I could be good. I think I'm going to be like on TV and stuff. And I never forget. He goes, oh Jay, what? He said something like, what made you think about that? Was it the I forgot what he said. Was it all the McDonald's? Was it all the championships? And I
Yeah,
was
he
like,
being sarcastic,
but
like, bro, you
for
don't see the
me,
magnitude.
no, for me,
Wow.
I'm just having fun and I'm
Wow.
having a release for all the other things in life, the battles that I'm fighting. You
Wow.
get what I'm saying? So
Yes.
so that's happening. My recruiting visits was crazy. So
Wow.
we played New York City versus Long Island. We lose that. First time, there's a guy standing with a sign, it says Fraser, it's a limo. I'm like, oh, this is pretty nice. We drive to MacArthur Airport. There's a private jet waiting for me.
Oh, KJ.
It's Rick
Yeah.
Pitino's. It's Rick Pitino's private jet.
We going down to
So
Louisville with
I get on. Yeah, I get on. I get
it.
on the plane. It was two seats one side. I want to say one seat the other side, or it was one on one. And what it stood out to me, it was only the pilot, co-pilot, and one of the pilot's wives. They stayed up front. It's just me by myself. There's a there's a TV, a monitor, and it swivels out in front of you. I thought that was so dope. And I'm in all leather seats, just me. So we land in Louisville. I get off. Limo takes me to this building. I go all the way up to the penthouse. It's Patino's penthouse. The whole team is out there with Carlos Hurt. Carlos Hurt's there. Taekwon Dean, who I played AAU ball with.
Oh,
So that was Louis. And then then I went to the practice. I respected Louisville so much because Pitino cursed someone out so bad during the practice. But what it was, he kept it. He was 100% honest,
you kept
and that
on.
made me. And I love the honesty. I
I,
don't
you
want.
like, I like
I don't
that.
want fluff. Tell me what it's going to be. So I liked it. I knew my uncle liked him because he felt like he had the ability to develop, and as a big, like he would have the staff and he had experience. So then after that, I went to UNC, Carolina. Thank God I made the commitment to myself not to. I said no matter what, do not commit while you're on when you're on the when you're
While
on
you
the
on the
you're
visit.
on the road because I would have committed at Carolina easy. Let me tell you what happened. Number one, it was Midnight Madness, right?
Ah,
That's number one.
that's number one.
I think they had Julius Peppers and all of them. That team. They're playing.
they were showing love to them.
They're playing. So I'm sitting. We're in a Dean Dome. Dean Dome. College students. Obviously, some of those drinking. Midnight Madness. Their team is there. It's Carolina. They're screaming. On the side of me is me. Then it was Trevor Ariza because they was trying to recruit him for the following year, and Raymond Felton. He already committed. Ray was trying to go. We had a nice. We bonded. Me,
Y'all had a
him,
nice
Mellos,
rapport.
JJ, all of us. We bonded during the McDonald's All American Week. But we have that, and there's students right across from me. Like it's the Dean Dome.
Yep.
T. There was these dudes with no shirt on.
Chest naked.
So yeah, just there with the shorts, and they whoa screaming. Nothing. You see nothing. Then they all of a sudden the lights get dim, right?
Yes.
And the spotlight comes and like they spotlight. It's the dudes right across from where I'm sitting. They stand up. He's standing like this. He turns around. Boom! It's a big J written across his back. J, and the whole crowd yells JASON. 5 people with my name written out.
Uh,
Jason. And then the whole crowd's going, Jason Fraser. Boom, boom,
clap,
boom. I
clap,
was
clap,
like,
clap, clap.
this is
You're like, yo, I'm
crazy.
committed. I'm coming. I'm coming here.
But it wasn't that part.
Oh,
This is the part that got me.
what's the part I got
So
you, Jay?
I'm on the Carolina Inn, the hotel there. Wake up. Matt Doherty gets me. He's walking through campus. He walks me through the quad. The bell rings for class. In college, all the quad is where you got the big space, you got all the classes
This is
surrounding
where
you.
everybody meeting at.
Everyone was coming down the steps. During the steps in most colleges, it's glass where you can see out.
Yep.
Everybody stopped in campus. No one moved. They start chanting Jason Fraser. I could hear them through the building.
Oh.
So think about all classes coming out. Think about classes letting out.
I
Think about how
got
many
it. I
students are
got.
there.
The
They
picture's painted.
stopped walking, and they didn't keep walking. They stopped,
Oh, that's
looked,
fire.
pointed. That's him.
That's
Started
him.
chanting. Matt Doherty looked at me and said, "You see You see what it's
You
like
see where
here,
we going with this, man?
dog."
We need you around here.
I wanted to commit so bad. I had to bite my tongue.
Oh,
I had to run away. I really wanted to do that. And this is not to mention, I couldn't appreciate it because I was too young.
yes.
We had steak dinner, custom. Stuart Scott did an announcement.
Oh boy.
They got Stuart Scott to come out, and he announced me and everyone else as
Ah.
the MC to a steak dinner center court of the Dean Dome.
So they did the whole thing. I don't
There's
even know
nothing
the
more he
words
could
for
do.
this. This
There's
is
nothing
yeah.
more he could do. There's nothing more he could do. I wanted to. I like Carolina, but and then I went to St. John's. It was a little tough. Like
You had to do a Jarvis. He
I
probably
got
fumbled the bag.
I got picked up. I got picked up in the old wooden taxis.
Yeah, yeah.
So Patino picked me up in a limo, took me in a private jet.
Uh,
Carolina took me to the limo tour, and I flew commercial, and then you saw the Carolina
the
experience.
experience.
Then St. John picks me up in a taxi, and someone stepped in dog doodle, so I'm smelling dog doodle the whole trip down, and it's traffic. Mind you, it's Long Island going to St. John's, going right there in Queens. I honestly wanted to go to St. John's more than out of school at the time
Uh,
because you were there, and I just wanted to say I'm a homebody, and I remember saying, I was like, just get Patrick Ewing to call me. I was any random surface thing just for me to rationalize in my mind. Let me just go. I wanted to go to St. John's so bad,
uh,
and they just But hold on. I think are you muted? Can you hear me? Oh, I froze a little bit. Guys, like this if you can hear me. I seen one. If you guys can hear me, y'all can see me move. Can you like it? Is Tristan frozen on your end as well? Someone comment in the chat. Aaron, is Tristan frozen? Because he's frozen on my end. I can't hear him or see him. I can hear you. Can you hear Tristan though? Is he frozen? He's frozen. Okay, okay. So it's his end. All right. I'm gonna tell it and then I'll retell it when I come back. What's up, Marcus? Hey, shout out to Marcus Matthews. When I was a young buck, I was in seventh grade, and Marcus Matthews was one of the guys in Amityville gym that I used to look up to. Another person who I forgot at the time, because just so much. Um, during the summer, I remember looking at I don't know what gym it was. It was indoor and outdoor. Um, Andre Edwards, uh, Drew, Dre. Dre, who's a pillar for the community, who did a lot, helped me. Well, this is after basketball. I could tell on it when I did my sports apparel. I wouldn't have been able to do it without him. Um, but he was another one that I watched. He's frozen but can hear you. Okay, okay, all right, T. So you can hear me. All right. So I was at St. John's, wanted to go to St. John's, and it just, you remember I met you there. Okay, I see you, T. I met you there, and it was cool, but it was just like everything just was like. Like it didn't take much. He has to start the live again. At right in there. What if you start the live again? Will we lose everyone? Or do you want me to keep talking, or do you want to restart the live? I could read it, T. You have a mute button right here. T, let me know. They would have to stay with us. So as long as everyone stays with us, you can restart it, right? Wait, what do you mean? Like we could restart it and we're gonna lose everyone, or can we restart it and everyone, join back in? Okay, let's restart it. I'll tell you the story. You're gonna like the Villanova one too, guys. I got some stories, and I'm gonna tell you some of the offers I got offered, but I won't name the schools. Lead broadcast.